Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome back to Dapple Productions here, where we will be hosting Paddling Pool number 318. My name is Rocket, and joining me is the one and only Conroe. How are you doing today?
Hello, Rocky. I'm doing very well, thanks. Good to be back. It's been a while since I've commentated one of these, but I'm very excited for this.
As am I. It also has been a minute, at least for me, in terms of Paddling Pool, but just taking a look at what we have in store to us. To kick things off, we will be having Entropy versus Operation Zero, our winners bracket round 1.6 matchup here. Starting things off on Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. Any thoughts on this map mode in particular, Conroe?
Yeah, I find it's quite lockout heavy. If anyone is able to get set up, I think that's the tough part on Clam's Barnacle, just getting to that pit area. But I find that once people are set up, it's very difficult to clear them out. You know, you'll always have teammates on the from the defensive perspective. You will always have players going top right, trying to lock you in spawn. And I find the pit area, it can take a while to kind of clear them out because they can throw clams in from like quite far back in that area as well, and they have some space to work around. But yeah, it's all about that mid fight on Barnacle as it is on most of the modes. Just whoever's going to come out first in that first push, are they going to be able to kind of prolong it and get more points on the board, maybe even enough to win the game on one push?
For sure, and very thematically for Clam Blitz in general, this really lets itself to very fast fights, fast retakes, fast counterattacks, as typically you see once a push starts dying down, the other team is very, very quick to take control of mid, very quick to take control of that plat area. And I feel like that's just going to be a very important factor as well, a key factor for both teams to kind of control that area, not only their own, but the opponents as well. Kind of just get their pushes going, not only provide jumps, but also kind of just put a vantage point, and you kind of mentioned that top right area as well. And just these key points that teams really need to try to take advantage of are going to be key here. Taking a look at the other maps, we will be having TC Hagglefish as game 2, and game 3 will be Rainmaker, Humpback, Pump Track. But like I kind of mentioned there, Clam Blitz is going to be very, very fast paced. And just taking a look at the teams here a little bit, just taking a look at what we have in store for us, Entropy I do see a Stamper there as well, so maybe getting used with that Zipcaster definitely kind of lends itself towards a very, very more fighty comp, obviously with Zipcaster as well, kind of just being that distraction.
Yeah, definitely Stamper, always a dangerous presence on a team. It's so much range on that weapon, and it's just so quick to get like a KO. It doesn't have a one-hit KO unless you're really close to it, but even from a distance, I just feel sometimes I just get one-shot by a Stamper. I know that's not what's happening, but with the burst bomb, it kind of has that effect. And you know, Barnacle as well, there's plenty of spaces where plenty of tiny ledges where a Stamper can kind of be on the lower one and hit over the top. I believe on that team as well, they according to the Sendo weapons at least, they have a bucket and a range blaster. So if that kind of comp is coming out, that's going to be so much AoE for the other team to deal with. And a place like Barnacle, that could get quite tough as well, because there are places where teammates tend to go, like on Barnacle, that platform. If you picture the zone just to the right of it, you know that's a popular place for teammates to go. But I do like how Barnacle has several ways to go as well. I mean, it's quite simple. It's just through the middle or the left or the right flank. But, you know, there are options that the teams can take, especially for a team if they're going to bring a bunch of AoE on their comp.
100%. And taking a deeper look at Entropy as well, I see Yumiko does have a bunch of chargers on their Sendu listed there. It would be interesting to see, instead of a pen, maybe you do have a charger kind of just being able to hold this space. I mean, Barnacle and Dime is a very flat land area, at least in the midpoint, but a lot of high vantage points really to take use of it. But we're just going to jump straight into it. Game number 1, let's see what these teams have in store for us in terms of weapons.
Yeah, definitely. So we do see a Stamper and a bucket on the side of Entropy, as we said. No range at least, but the burst is going to have plenty. The splash, sorry, is going to have plenty of burst bombs, and it will just be a pencil on both sides. As usual, we get that cooler backline, and let's see which team is going to take control at the start of this.
Very interesting comp coming out from Operation Zero, running with the double shooter into V-Blast, I believe, as well, just for that bubble, really just to create so much space. Off rip, you do see Entropy Stamper go down immediately. That is first blood for Operation Zero as they kind of move forward. Cherry now just being able to pick up all these clams just because of the amount of space Operation Zero has had, but they are forced back onto their plat. But I mean, you see their clam economy kind of spiraling out of control. A double Zuka, now a triple coming out from Hydra might open things up for Operation Zero. Really nice shots there.
definitely, and that is what a Trizooka can do. We all know it by now. It's just it can come out, get a triple, and suddenly the whole game is switched on its head. And Operation Zero, that's definitely given them space, and they are going to get the first push, and they have a lot of clams available to them, but it looks like Entropy have kind of kept control over there, so they might sit back now with that power, or they're going to force it. Well, they get one more in. They had Cooler at least, but that basket is going to close. Oh, and the pen gets picked off, so the power clam might get dropped there. But yeah, you did mention about the comps. They've got double shot and blaster, so I'd expect them to play a little bit faster compared to the other comp, you know, strafe around, get close to them, because Bucket and Stamper kind of outrange them, but the shots can move a bit faster. So I'd expect that from Operation Zero, and so far it's kind of been working.
Yeah, I do expect that type of comp to work much better in Clam Blitz here, which kind of makes sense why they're bringing it out here. The wonderful defense you saw from Entropy really to kind of hold that down. It looked very disastrous for them from Hydra's just wonderful play. They do have another Zuka here yet again, now threatening the other plat. Unfortunately, though, Operation Zero will lose their pen. This time, Hydra and Zuka won't find much, as now it is Entropy's turn to just unload their Volta specials. However, 3 of them go down, and Operation Zero now have the numbers advantage. 2v1 left here in mid, as Hydra will take that to great use here, taking that plat control, and yet again, map control is mostly in the favor of Operation Zero as they try to get their next push going. You do see the trip strikes going out. You do have a ball in their hands. One does fall here, and now an opening might find itself, unless there is a backstab. I believe that is from the splash. Hydra still has a ball in their possession, but that push does stall out.
Yeah, I really liked what the Splash was able to do there on Entropy's side. They were the only one alive. They backed off a little bit, but like didn't quite back off all the way, and they saved their crab for when the teammates were available. So, you know, that could have been another push for Operation Zero, but it's kind of been turned on its head now. We saw the Stamper kind of drop from this area that Cherry's on now, get a pick, and it has completely switched. Entropy with 2 power clams in, that's immediately going to be the lead. They have more clams in. We see them getting more control around the basket than Operation Zero did on their push, so they do have the lead. The Zipcast, unfortunately, not able to get anything, but they've pushed it beyond 50.
Yeah, the barrier broken. Now a lot of clams to follow, all the way down to 48 there. Although Operation Zero were able to get that first push, they now sit down here with little on the clock. 1:45, still manageable, however, as yes, that is a lead for Entropy, but it's not a strong one. You still need to get a lot of clams, though, if you're on the side of Operation Zero to make this push count. You do have the pity available to you. The bubble now being used on that plat here. Operation Zero just investing a lot of their resources just to try to control that main area. Trip Trick now going out as well, and you see all 4 members of Operation Zero now pouncing. That is the barrier broken, but will there be any follow-up? You have a counter crab, but the players are falling left and right for Entropy here. A great opportunity to get in, but just barely not able to take that lead, as that is a slim 2-point lead for Entropy as they still hold firm.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be the lead there. There was really nice strikes around the court area where the basket is to get them in. All the players were there, and then suddenly they weren't. They all got picked off by something. There was a big crab tank as well. It was kind of close range, but it got the job done on taking out the rest of them. They needed one more clam in to get the lead, but they weren't able to. Zuka coming out for Operation Zero now, trying to get something, not able to get anything this time. Power clam on Entropy's side. They have the majority of the clams, and they have a crab tank at the ready, being used quite aggressively there on the left, but the strikes come out to stop it. Good use of strikes again, and they get picked off, so nothing for the crab, and momentum is very quickly shifting back to Operation Zero.
Yeah, but the trades keep coming. The trades keep coming, and Entropy really are not in any rush to try to force anything here. They're playing smart near their plat, just trying to keep control of mid here, trying to stall out any Operation Zero thwart, as remember, this is the pressure on Operation Zero to kind of just make something happen here. 10 seconds left. Overtime will happen here so long as they do make a ball, and it does look like they will in mid here. Now 5 seconds left with regulation left, just trying to keep the emphasis onto that plat. Operation Zero does have trip strikes to kind of use here with 2 players down on the side of Entropy. This could be the situation they need. They try to go in with this ball. It does make their way, yes, but are the clams there? Yes, they are, as Cherry, managing to stay alive, the last player standing for Operation Zero, steals that game for Operation Zero.
Oh, wow. I feel like every push from Operation Zero was like just slightly messy in some way. It always looked like they would get a lot of clams, and then suddenly they would lose players. Again, there, I really thought that was going to be an easy game for them, but it came down to a single clam from a single player. So I'm not sure what it was. Like, I don't know if players were just collapsing in the same area and then getting picked off by a bunch of AoE or what. But either way, they ended up brute forcing it, I think, through 3 kind of small scoring pushes. They get the job done. What a close game 1 to open up the tournament.
You hit it right on the nail right there, Conrad. It was not a pretty fight there. We did see, like kind of you mentioned, just repeated attacks by Operation Zero. I believe at the end there, you did have a 2-player down situation for Entropy, so Operation Zero kind of seized the moment, but obviously losing 3 players in that push is not ideal, but I mean, it got the job done in the end. That's kind of what all mattered, and for Entropy, nice defenses, but eventually something broke, and that's what led them to losing that one. But based on how close that match was, I'd imagine the second one would be equally as close. As mentioned, Game 2 will be Tower Hagglefish.
Yeah, Tower Hagglefish, I feel like it might be another map just for brute forcing for this one, because Tower, it's quite easy for the Tower to get stuck when it moves off to the right, above of the attacking team, and it goes towards that top right area. It's all about just taking control of top right. If you're not able to do that, they're just going to come back in.
Okay, I was about to have several questions of why I saw 2 pens, but it is okay. It is a little bit of this. Could you imagine a double pen lineup though in a comp? I would not know what that would even entail. I mean, yes, you have the double cooler, but like, I don't even know how that would even manage there. But okay, turns out maybe a difference of weapons here, but I wouldn't mind the comp that Operation Zero ran here again on Hagglefish Market, just kind of based on how the map is kind of built out. I mean, mid-range, yes, those weapons did have their struggles against the mid-range of the Stamper, the mid-range of the Bucket, but I would kind of like it here. I mean, the Blaster, obviously, being able to kind of poke under the ledges, the various ledges and corners that Hagglefish Market kind of presents itself, but also being able to utilize that bubble onto the tower to kind of push off. I like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Blasters, the kit as a whole is great to have on tower control. It looked, in game 1 at least, it looked like Entropy were dealing with the bubbles quite well. I feel like whenever a bubble came out, it was just getting straight away. But I think tower control, the strats with bubble is a bit more like you're just going to use it on tower normally. It's a Blaster, so maybe they want to use it aggressively because they'll want to push up and get the kills to clear the way for their team. So we might see that come out instead. I guess it depends on how much they're pushing tower, how desperate is the push. Are they just going to try and take lead over a certain bit? Maybe they'll use it on the tower instead of pushing forward. I feel like I mentioned about the top right, maybe using a bubble up there would be better. Would be good for like just keeping that bit clear as well, if they're able to take control up there. I think that is going to be a big point in this game, like just taking control of that area so that they can't really easily defend.
Sure, and you mentioned that top right area. I believe that is that second checkpoint. It's going to be very, very crucial, especially since that tower is going to stay there for a significant amount of time. That fighting is going to be very, very fierce here, but Operation Zero, 1 game away from just closing out the set. Remember, this is a best of 3. Will there be any weapon changes? No, at least on the side of Operation Zero, still rolling with a double shot blaster. On the other side, no major changes, a little bit of a kit change, however, instead of going with the V-Slash, going with the Neo Splash, which I do like. I mean, you do provide yourself now an extra set of strikes, and there is a reason why they call them GG strikes. I mean, you are just able to completely deny the tower if you're able to position yourself into that game-winning situation, but getting there is going to be the true challenge. However, you see Entropy managing to get that initial pick, however, quickly traded out.
Yeah, Entropy, well, they did lose 2, but I think plenty lost on both teams now. Prince is going to make a little flank with the Ultra Shot, able to get 1. They're able to survive at least. So yeah, double tri-strikes coming out for Entropy this time, swapping out the Neo Splash. I kind of like that though. I mean, Crab Tank on tower here, I feel like you don't get as much value out of it. And the strikes are coming out quite quickly onto tower. Operation Zero trying to get through the checkpoint, not quite able to, but they have Cooler up, so maybe they want to keep this push going, just go in, see if they can get something, but it's pretty neutral. They didn't get it past the checkpoint at all, they just basically reached it, and now the tower's getting reset. Trades still happening everywhere, no one able to establish too much control yet.
Yeah, neither side being able to even make it to that first checkpoint, or at least do damage to it so far. You see Hydra just trying to take this fight, pincering down onto that pen from Entropy there, and actually managing to go 3 players down is Operation Zero on the backhand. Although they did lose their pen, they quickly recover with Trip Strikes to boot as well to just try to create this space here. You do have to worry about that blaster on that ledge down there at the bottom of your screen, managing to take out 2 members of Entropy. So maybe this push will die down a little bit here, but they do even up the score now, finally being able to take that lead, but still not really much damage being done to that checkpoint here as Operation Zero are back on their counterattack. Both teams has been able to kind of hold their own on their own side of the map, but not really make progress on the other side. Something's eventually going to have to break, though.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's just kind of the messy game. Players going down left, right, and center, but neither team able to form a big push. Entropy have the lead, but barely. They only got a quarter of the way through that first checkpoint. The caller is out again for Operation Zero now. Are they going to be able to get anything with it? They have tri-strikes available to them. The Pens, oh, I thought they were going to go down to that bomb, but they live. But Entropy have kind of come back in. It's neutral again. Pen is trying to, both Pens are just trying to get something from the back lines. I just see a bunch of people fighting in Entropy's court. I don't know who's going down. Entropy have 2 left available. Slosher is trying to make something happen. They're fighting for ages. If they do eventually go down, it looks like Operation Zero might get something. And here is that bubble on that top right. Is the blaster going to be able to get anything with that? But out come the strike, so the push is going to be delayed at least a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of just 1v1s across the map, and I feel like that's just that's been the theme here. However, both sides yet again lose 2 players. Just players throwing themselves desperately onto the tower. Hydra being the last player standing, Hazuka is forced out, so that will be the end of the push for Operation Zero now. Entropy have to hope that they can produce something similar, but I mean, this match has been very, very scrappy. Kind of like you mentioned, I'm finding it difficult myself to kind of keep up with what's going on here because players just kind of taking their individual 1v1s, not really being able to find anything big. They're just trying to see if they can make something happen on their own. You do have Hydrazuka still available. The Trip Strikes on the other side as well. Actually, both sides do have the Trip Strikes available here, kind of just fighting over this. They invested first by Entropy here, just trying to see if they can deny that cooler a little bit. But so far, both sides just trying to poke at each other, trying to see if they can get that initial pick in this team fight. But eventually, 2 players will go down from Entropy.
Yeah, now that's 3 players down for Entropy. There's just 1 remaining. Again, they're not able to get anything for that. I feel like both teams are kind of just getting the caller and trying to go in and get something off that, but they just lose too many players to get anything going. But Operation Zero, advantage is going back to them. The tower is being pushed. They're actually through the first checkpoint right now. Entropy have not got that far, and they are continuing to push now. 55 points on the board. They're just constantly getting back on tower. The strikes are only delaying. Top right looks like it's in their control now. They do have a player there, so they should be able to get more. They lose 2 and the strikes come out again. But I mean, it's a decent push the way this game has been going. There's less than a minute left. They've pushed it to 40. And it's really on Entropy now to make something happen. They're down in this game. It could be 1-1. And I feel like an issue might honestly be, I mean, strikes are good for stopping the game, but they have to take the lead. And, you know, strikes, you just kind of move out of the way. They don't have a devastating special like a Trizuka that might really open the way for them. But let's see how they do. They've got the tower right now. Do they have another push in them?
Yes, they do have a Zipcaster as well. Now, 4 players exploded total on that right side. An absolute bloodbath, 2 from either side here. But Cherry just trying to poke at Entropy's players, managing to take out 1 in Mervil here. But now Entropy maybe can get some points onto the board here. Just trying to see if they can get onto that tower. Strikes now being invested yet again to try to displace these members of Operation Zero. You do see Hydra just jumping straight onto the tower from above, comboed with the Trip Strikes from their team. That will be 2-0 for Operation Zero, winning the set. They're moving on.
Yeah, it is Operation Zero. I think I got that wrong. I said it was going to be 1-1. That's not 1-1. It's 2-0. It was the onus was on Entropy to take that back, and yeah, they weren't able to. They didn't lock down top right on the push, and I think it was the shot that just kind of dived in on them at the end there to take the zone back. And you know, I do wonder if kind of Zuka there was the difference, because it's just a devastating special. Again, I feel like top right, I mean, on this map in general, you can kind of shoot Azuka and it arcs perfectly to just kind of clear out that whole section. You know, if anyone is up there, they're probably going to get spotted by that Zuka. And, you know, the blaster was doing work for them as well on the push. I mean, they only pushed it to 40, but, you know, I feel like that was just the nature of the game between these two, just very scrappy pushes coming in, but they brute forced their way through and got the job done.
Yeah, and to kind of revisit a point you kind of made there in during that match, I mean, you did have the double Trip Strikes for Entropy, yes, But you really didn't have a special that kind of had like at least guaranteed value. I mean, obviously Zuka isn't truly guaranteed in the sense of just like maybe you just miss all 3 shots, yes, but it does provide a little bit of variety with that T-Tech and V-Shot kind of just, or Octoshot, excuse me, kind of just being used in conjunction with each other, and you kind of saw it there, the Trip Strikes being invested at the end with the V-Shot just moving in. On the other side of Entropy, you really needed to be in the lead, and they just really didn't have anything to kind of do so. So you kind of saw them forcing the issue a lot of times, and unfortunately that just led them to come up short. But they will still have their opportunity to kind of fight through losers bracket to see if they can survive. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see there as Operation Zero goes up against 2-seeded Phantom Liberty. But we will be taking a very momentary break, as you see on your screen right there. We'll be looking at our next match coming up shortly. I believe that is Zero versus either, I don't know what those emojis are, honestly, just taking a look here. I think that's just looking like a dad with a mustache versus Seafoam Reality. The winner of that will be facing Zero, but we'll be taking a quick break before we head to that, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back everyone to Paddling Pool 318. We are into winners round 2. This is Conroe and I am still joined by Rocket. Welcome, Rocket.
Thank you for the introduction, and kind of like we were alluding to a little bit earlier before we went on break, we'll be going up against, or taking a look at Zero versus, I believe that is just older gentleman, and then his just face is gone. I don't know what to think of those emojis. We're taking a look at Bake's stream. You did see a nice collat there from them. Bake currently playing right now, I believe is currently on Phantom Liberty. Yes, Phantom Liberty playing against Operation Zero. They're currently up 1-0 there, so just taking a quick little peek into their matchup on Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime. But regardless of that, we're still waiting, I believe, on one more member to be joining the lobby here from both sides. Like I mentioned here, Phantom Zero versus I'm just gonna say Bald Man. I don't even know what to call it anymore. I don't know what we're gonna be going with here, Conroe.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we're seeing Zero, we
Bald,
saw
yeah.
Zero in Winners Round 1, and now we're seeing just Zero, going from Operation Zero to Zero. Yeah, Bold. I thought it might be a man in a mirror situation.
I can see it.
Yeah, maybe that's supposed to be like a reflection of the mustachioed man we're looking at, but producers have gone with Bold, so we're just calling him Bold in all caps. I like that too. So
I mean, who knows? That might just be a mirror just taking a look at the back of their head. That you might have like a situation where you might have like hair in front and then just like nothing back there. So you just like have to like maybe put on a face here. But anyways, jumping straight into things here, taking a look at Zero versus what we're going with Bald. Let's see what we have in store for us. I do see a Dually Jet Sculpture, which I do like a lot. Nice support shooter type weapon, really just being able to kind of utilize that range with chumps as well, just kind of being able to help paint over the zone on the side of Zero. However, pretty standard comp. You do have the decav and bucket for that midline presence, the splash as always. Pelly giving us a little hey to the camera here before going into battle. You do see a crab on that right side being able to kind of chip away at Zero here, and it does look like Bald will kind of get a little bit of an upper hand and a little bit of an opportunity to kind of push forward.
yeah, Decav sitting on tower for now. They just about got their special, but before they could get the bubble out, they get taken down. Yeah, CDS, I like that pick too. I think I actually played against this player recently in a tournament as well, and they know what they're doing with it. Those beacons will be everywhere, and I would be expecting everyone to be jumping to them constantly, at least based on how they played when I went against them. But it is Zero that are able to make the first push, and here is the CDS trying to make a play, gets an assist. So close to, yes, they do get another one. Some aggressive plays from the CDS. The crab is on the glass and they are going for them, and that crab has been taken down. I don't know if that was the CDS or someone else, but Zero making a very strong, very aggressive start here on the first checkpoint already.
Yeah, and a lot of their players shifted over towards that right side to kind of see if they can take control of that. You do see the crab invested in mid as well to kind of apply that pressure. Ball does go 2 players down here, just left to the pen and splash. The main support painter weapons just trying to see if they can get something going, or at least stall out the push a little bit, because so far, Bald has kind of been able to just been forced back. Eventually now being able to push in with Zero going 3 players down, just left with the Stamper in mid to kind of just run away, see if they can get something going here. Trying to take this 1v1 against the decav does eventually fall to the might of Bald here, but now Zero on the defensive here. Let's see if if Zero is on the defensive here. Let's see if Bald can kind of get in this initial push. They do have that bubble invested as well in this ramp area to kind of just keep this tower going.
Yeah, I like that bubble position. I also like the might of Bold. I like that wording for that. You can't underestimate the might of Bold ever. And they did take top right for a sec. They get taken down, and tower, they've had to kind of retreat before taking lead. It looks like Zero have coordinated a good defense there just to take out whoever was on tower and then push in together. Crab tank helping. CDS again on the left. I think the slash of the sword was over there as well, jumping back. But 2 down for Bold. So yeah, successfully defended from Zero, and it's turned around for them. It's kind of neutral right now, but they've defended their lead, and they're just regrouping now for a push. The caller is out. I would expect the CDS to go aggro again, trying to take out that pen, and there's actually a jump. They're just going to camp that and take care of that one. And the pen is still, I like this aggression. As soon as the caller comes out, the CDS has like no hesitation. They are just going in.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to see if they can get that initiation go in, try to be the catalyst for their team to get that initial pick. You do see both teams kind of struggling to push through that second checkpoint, and I mean, that's kind of a given. It is usually the hardest to get through this map here, but Zero just trying to get another crack at it here. You do see the CDS is trying to poke under. You do see the splash actually going down for that trouble there. You do have the Trip Tricks and the Crab actually being invested on the side of Ball. The Trip Strike still in the pocket of the Slosher, managing to find actually a pick onto the CDS, as now you do see kind of the Stamper trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, does go down. That Splash still threatening that right side, as that push will be thwarted here yet again. A very slim lead will be held by Zero, however, with 3 players down on their side. That making it a delayed wipeout here. A great opportunity for Ball to kind of create all this space, and you do see the bubble yet again available for this decav.
Yeah, the bubble's available. They're really getting a good push in. I'd expect the bubble to... Well, no, the bubble didn't come out. They just pushed ahead. I like that decision. The bubble on top left is pretty much closed off now for Zero to get in. And Bold do take the lead, and it's still being pushed to strikes coming out for both teams, I think. But no one on tower, but they've pushed it all the way to 18. This decav is just trying to get something going before getting back to tower. Not quite able to. Sharking out the pen, and they do get the pick here as well. Nice pick on the pen. And everyone is coming back in. That is actually Zero around the tower. I think the push is kind of dead at that point, but that's really good all the way to 18. And all the work now is on Zero to reverse this.
Yeah, with 35 seconds left, you have to take a look at the weapons that Bald are running. You do have the Slosher, who does eventually go down, yes, but they are looking to build those Trip Strikes, those GG Strikes, if you will, here to try to just end things once and for all. The Zipcaster is taken out now, 20 seconds left. On the top of your screen, you do see the GG Strikes are ready. They're waiting there, as well as the Crab as well, if things get a little bit dicey. 15 seconds left. You kind of just have Pelly here just waiting on this left side, not really trying to look for any fights, as now time is ticking down here. If you're on the side of Zero, you want to be hunting this bucket. Trip Strike's actually being invested a little bit early here, but it might not even matter, as the players from Zero are just falling left and right, and that means that Bald will be taking game 1 in a little bit of a come-from-behind victory there.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great push at the end. I think they just decided that they were 2 players down, Zero, and of course they had the strikes ready. They had the players around tower by that point. It was probably a done deal by then anyway. They were going to win the game, but the strikes just to make sure. I think they even set up a bubble on tower at the end, so, you know, never in doubt. And then great highlight of Kelly, you know, posing for the camera there at the start of the game. But yes, Bold do take game 1. I believe this is a best of 3 again. So, yeah, they're immediately on the doorstep of the winner's semi-final here.
Yes, they are, and continuing up that pressure. I mean, you did see Zero get a nice push at the very beginning, where it just seemed like they started losing some steam a little bit here on this defense. The picks were not quite going to their favor, and I mean, that opening was just made by that 3K and delayed wipe in mid by Ball, and they were able to create so much space, set up that decav kind of in their spawn area, and then eventually force them to go right. And that bubble, we saw it there, just being able to basically, like you mentioned, kind of deny that right area, basically deny any space for Zero to try to counterattack, and then the GG strikes the boot. I mean, there's a reason why this type of comp that Bold is running is seen a lot here with minimal changes. But taking a look at game 2, we'll be looking at Museum Clams next.
Yeah, we definitely will. Museum Clams. No, I never know what to think of this one. It's I find this one, I mean, it's quite, I don't know if stalling is the word, but I find it so difficult to push the basket on this map. You don't really have many entrances to where the basket is. You've basically just got the ramp or the block, the tiny little blocks. I mean, if the comps don't change, I like Bold's chances here, because they just purely because of the big bubbler, really, and the decav. You know, they're able to get some picks. If that big bubbler gets set up in a good place for a push, they'll get something out of it. But yeah, Museum, I feel like you have to pretty much wipe the other team to get a push going, unless someone is able to maybe sneak by and you know, get jumps to the other team or whatever. But I feel like most people aren't doing that. So yeah, it'll be interesting, this one.
Yeah. And taking a look at what Zero kind of ran. Now, I did like the CDS on Hagglefish, just because of the amount of space, the wide lanes. You can kind of take advantage of the range a little bit here. But with Museum, I feel like there's a little bit less places where you can kind of take advantage of that. Yes, you could probably go into mid on top of that mid spinner, but kind of when you're pushing up that ramp, not really a lot of opportunity to try to take advantage of it, especially if you're going up against a comp such as Bulb that do have that splash, that does have that decap, that kind of just get into your face and are able to kind of kill you faster. So I'm interested to see if they're going to kind of stay with that. Game 2 will be next, though, on Splat Zones? Is it Splat Zones?
Huh. Not sure. We saw Clams.
It
I
is
guess we'll
Splat
find
Zones.
out if they stop playing it or.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, it's like, I mean, that I don't know if we've run that before, but I mean, it would be a valid map.
Yeah, I don't actually. It's weird, but I don't actually mind Splat Zones museums. I like it more than Clams at least. Yeah, it is Clamblitz. I guess someone just chose the wrong mode.
A little bit of technical difficulties, but I mean, I would like the CDS on zones, though. I will say, just for the sake of like the amount of paint, you kind of just use it as a snipe there. But what is your thoughts on it? I mean, we did see the CDS there. Oh, you do have a little bit of a conflict with one of the members there, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on CDS on this map here?
I was actually going to say I feel like the beacons here would actually be quite useful if they're able to spread them out. You know, you've got that whole right sneak area on this map as well. You know, you can put a beacon there, put a beacon on the left. Are they using? Yeah, they are using it. I've only ever seen this player play CDS, so yeah, that's not surprising. No, I don't think there's been any changes actually with the comps. I feel like it's all been the same. So they're both feeling confident in their comps, and I guess Zero just going to try and turn this around with what they used before.
Yeah, just still trying to hold on to that Stamper there. So with that CDS still kind of in play, you kind of want to try to help chip the opponents there, try to maybe even find a kill off of that, just kind of being able to kind of support the rest of Zero as they push in. The Crab being invested in mid does net them strong control of that, yes, but a very slim clam advantage will be in favor of Zero here. Is trying to still threaten up that ramp a little bit. You do see the Pen now making its way towards mid, trying to take this important position, trying to see if they can poke away at any members of Bald, but once they see two members of their team falling, they immediately jump out of there as Bald with a great counterattack, a lot of clams to boot as well, invest a lot of their specials. The Trip Strike went out, the Cooler went out now as well. Let's see if they get anything out of it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of players going down. Oh, they've lost the Bubbler, though. I think the Decav was probably just waiting for the moment to get some picks and go in with that. They'll be back fast and they'll still have Bubbler, so there's not a huge loss on the side of Bold. But Zero are at least able to kind of clear the danger for now. It looked like there was a potential of a big point to push there, but they've at least stopped that. And actually, momentum is swinging the other way. 2 players down for Bold. Zero pushing in. They've got Cooler. Slasher unfortunately goes down on the sword, so they might not be able to get a push. The defensive Bubbler as well tries to get something with the CDS, but the sword is there to stop it. So yeah, Zero able to stop the push and get a bit of a counter, but it's kind of been neutralized again, so no pushes yet. We're almost 2 minutes in.
Yeah, I kind of divide Clamblitz maps into 2 kind of sections, and the Museum is one of those maps that I kind of group into the ones that can very much stall out very significantly. I kind of throw a Scorch Gorge into that as well, as it's not uncommon to kind of just see like the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, both teams just kind of just trying to feel each other out, maybe trying to find an opening here. An opening might be presented to Zero, however, you did see 2 players go down there. Yes, quickly backed by Cooler, but now most of the members of Zero are up onto this ramp. You do have 2 balls in play. Cooler now being placed as well as Zero. Just try to strengthen their control of mid, but now they're kind of being counterattacked here by Bald. You do see that splash going down on the other side. Traded out by 3 members just left to the Pen on the side of Bald to try to hold the line here. This could be the big opening that Zero needs.
Yeah, they have. I don't think they had much of an opportunity. There was 3 down, but I'm guessing the players just came in too fast for them to get back in. But they are going to score. Probably with 2. Yes, they do get 2 clams in and a few extras as well. They're on 54. Crab Tank User has a few more as well, and they're going to get all of those in, so it's not a bad push at all. Down to 45. Is there any more? The Pen has to retreat. Nice pick before that Pen was able to make a power clam there, and there's actually going to be a lot of spare clams as well. So this might be a bit of a reverse push straight away. Never mind, Slasher is there to defend. So it's a really good push there from Zero. We're over halfway through. You know, less than 2 minutes left. 55 points on the board, and they seem to be doing a really good job defensively this game. You know, Bold haven't really had much opportunity to push in. The specials coming out, but again, they don't really get much for it. In fact, the Slosher gets taken out while they were striking. So yeah, Zero seemed to be much more coordinated this game. Another pick, there you go.
Yeah, now Slasher just seeing if they can just stay alive here. Being pressured by the pen, being forced into a little bit of an uncomfortable situation on the left side is eventually taken out here. And now this is Ball's turn to kind of push up. The Decaf managing to take out two, I believe, with that little bit of a jump. You do see the CDS just trying to see if they can get something going with this Crab, but it won't matter as on the other side, Bald is already pushed up to the spinner now trying to threaten this clam basket. However, the clams aren't able to make their way into that basket as Zero have been able to recover really, really nicely. And what looks like a very dangerous situation for them has turned around into a great defense. They're still holding on to that lead. 1 minute remains. Bald still has a lot of pressure on them to try to see if they can get control of this, if they can end it here in game 2, or will Zero force a game 3.
Yeah, it looked pretty good there for Bold. I mean, that the decav with that bubble, I mean, they pretty much managed to get in and put the bubble where I said, right by the basket, but I don't think the rest of the team was quite ready to form a big push. And Zero, again, just able to mitigate some of the damage. I mean, that's only 29 points. They're still in the lead. They still have more clams than the other team. Pen has a power clam at least, so they're not going to get those clams if they drop it. But, I mean, the control seems to be on Zero's side. Still one player down for Bold. That's the decav. And yeah, they seem to be trying to form another push. They've got plenty of power clan. I think they got 2. And they seem to be pushing the other team. They're just going to go for it. I think they're going to lose players here, but I don't. Oh, the penalty score is still on. There is still Slasher on their side. Are they going to? Yeah. Okay, well, they got one in. They didn't actually get any more points for that, though. They didn't get through the penalty time. So we're into overtime, and Bold are going to have one more opportunity here.
Yeah, and I would have liked that push if that second goal made it in, but that just gave a pity straight to Bald here. A great opportunity for them to push in, especially with the CDS going down there. A player advantage now in favor of Bald. The bubble will be placed, yes, but now the ball will make its way in. But will there be enough players to go in? You do have the decav just trying to hold the line here, providing jumps for the rest of their team. Unfortunately, is taken out here. You do see the players just jumping in desperately. The pity does make its way in, and that is the lead, and that is the game and the set for Bald. What looks like a very greedy push from Zero here, maybe to just try to extend that lead, ended up costing them big time, as that pity ended up being the final nail into the coffin for them, as that is a very clean 2-0 for Bold.
Oh man, that was, I mean, from the perspective of Zero, that was such a sad end. They seem to just have that game in control, you know. Every time Bold tried to push, they were able to, you know, minimize the damage. I mean, Bold only got the basket open once before that, and it was mainly thanks to the decav kind of going in with a bubble. But yeah, I mean, it was a decision they made just to have one more push. They did have a power clam, to be fair, that missed the basket. I don't know if it was a straight up miss or if they weren't close. It looked like they weren't quite close enough for it to go in. So, I mean, I thought from this angle, you can see it looks a bit desperate already. It definitely looked like they should have just held ground, but I mean, the bubble at the end, the big bubble coming out, was actually huge again. I mean, it was it kind of stalled them out enough just to get some staggered super jumps, and I think someone was able to pick up that pity, and they just about had enough time. They had some swimming to do still. I don't know if that could have been stopped, but yeah, I think Zero will be quite sad about that one. But Bold, fair play to them. They brought it back with the clutchest of pushes at the end, and they will be going through.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to just judge Zero just based on the results. If that ball made it in, they would have extended that lead, and maybe you find another clam in there, and then that just ends it before overtime can even go out. So just a little bit too short there, just unfortunate happenings. And overall, just great play from Bald, all things considered, just kind of given what they were given. They will be facing the #1 seed, which, yes, that is correct. They have no name. There's nothing there, so it is just straight up versus Bald. At least there for winners bracket semis. On the other side, though, Phantom Liberty did get the better of Operation Zero. They'll be facing off against Tamarisk, our 2 and 3 seed, respectively. They're still waiting on word of which match we'll be taking a look at specifically. Okay, we'll be taking a look at Phantom Liberty versus Tamarisk next. But again, though, if you're on the side of Zero, you just got to take that one on the chin, kind of fight your way through losers bracket. They'll be facing off against Distinct in losers bracket round 2, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them hopefully soon, depending on how that match goes. But yeah, I mean, what a very, very narrow victory there that Bald was able to pull out.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a clean sweep. Well, not quite a clean sweep. It was a sweep, we'll say, of a 2-0. So yeah, that set is a bit of a commentator's nightmare there. We've got a team with no name at all, and then a team with just 2 emojis. So Yeah, so yeah, the next one up, best of fives in the winner semi-final, Phantom Liberty versus Tamaris, and I believe Tamaris won this last week, did they? I think.
I'm not 100% on that.
They did, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, quite close actually. I think they came from the loser side and 3-2 bracket reset 3-2. So yeah, they're Oh, 3-2 to 3-0, sorry. I think the website has a different one, but still close games, bracket reset, and fair play to them, they won, and they're back. Still just third seed, but they'll be up against Phantom Liberty in the winners semi-final. Let me just check who's on Phantom Liberty, because I'm not too sure. Oh, Bake, yes, that's who we had on stream a little while ago.
Yeah, you had, this is Bake's team there. They got the better of Operation Zero, closing them out in Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime. It is Bake, Phoenix, Mikey, and Azad, I believe, on the side of Phantom Liberty. Very familiar names. They're jumping straight to things, though. We're going to be looking at Scourge Gorge Rainmaker, a very, very kind of chokeholdy type map, at least after that first checkpoint, where points are going to be very, very valuable.
Yeah, definitely. I think you were mentioning about Clan Blitz, but I feel it's the same in Rainmaker anyway. It's just the nature of this map. You know, regardless of mode, it's quite hard to push their side, even on zones, because your only option is the Great. But Tamaris, I mean, they know what they're doing at the start of this. They're going straight for burst, and that is exactly what they've done. Phantom Liberty opting for an early crawler. Tamaris with the aggressive specials. Sadly, they do lose the Slosher there. But the Crab Tank from Tamaris is immediately going to add some pressure, and I think the Gao is trying to go in with that and get something going. But the Kraken is going to deny all of that, and the 52 very quickly has to run away.
Yeah, though the Kraken does, I believe, get 2 there on the backhand. However, Phantom Liberty does lose 2 of their own, so no side will really get any ground there as the pen is just forced back by this very fast aggression. Gal is taken out, yes. But neither team has been able to kind of pick up that Rainmaker here just out of threat. Now, finally, Tamaris are just kind of moving forward with it, trying to see what they can get going on this initial push here. You do have to worry about this S-Blast is lurking, will be forced to jump out, but now you have this elbow positioning that you have to worry about if you're on the side of Phantom Liberty. The Rainmaker being taken out will now allow them to kind of counterattack back as a mid.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams just waiting for that time when they get enough players down to make a push. And when you're pushing, you've always got to try and keep that area clear with the... I guess it's a dome. I don't really know what to call that, but I normally just call it snipe. But that is clear on Phantom Liberty's perspective, so they are going to go left and get that checkpoint. 2v2, yeah, nice trade there. VR bomb coming out. They're going to break the shield with that. Just I think there's a teammate there to grab that and get a few more points on the board. Oh, the R2 down though. Now they're being pressured. They're going to leave that one. Gets a nice pick. Almost gets a second. That could have been more points if they got that. Unlucky, but it is gonna reset, I think, this Rainmaker. Checkpoint broken though for Phantom Liberty, so you know, next time they get around there, they can just push for more points.
Yeah, at that point, after the first checkpoint is broken, sometimes the best option is just run it down there straight to their spawn, just because of how hard it is to get through this defensive side of the map. There's so many different elevation sides that the defending team can kind of get through here, but now it is Tamaris that is able to get through that checkpoint. Now Phantom Liberty in a little bit of a danger here, as you did see 3 players go down, now staggering a little bit as well. They will search for taking that lead, and now a great opportunity for them to get kind of points on the board. 2 players down on the side of Phantom Liberty. Slowly but surely, this Rainmaker is making its way towards the basket, managing to go all the way towards 27, towards the podium, excuse me, not Clan Blitz. You do see here a little bit of a fight scrummage on that left side. Mikey will take that one, and now the jump will be camped as well. So a great push by Tamaris will leave them into the lead with 27. A great lead to hold on to, especially on this map.
Yeah, definitely. That was just such a good push. They just suddenly got all the momentum there. There's players on Phantom Liberty constantly going down. And a nice move by the Rainmaker as well. They kind of dodged and strafed through there to get to 27. And Phantom Liberty, I mean, the momentum switching again. They are a player down. The Crab Tank is out. I think this might slow down the push. The BR Bomb going top right. Just trying to make some space for this Rainmaker to go free. They don't have much pressure at the moment going top right where that pen is. Except for the Rainmaker shots, they might just have to go... Well, the Slosher goes down. I mean, the Rainmaker's going very slowly going forward. They do eventually get picked. 2 down for Phantom Liberty. And they're going to retreat, I think, and try and get jumps for their team just to try and get this one, keep this one going. But the Rainmaker is burst, so I feel like Tamaris have managed to kind of reset this one a little bit. And, I mean, they're not opting to reset it, but it looks like it's safe at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Tamaris don't really have any pressure on them to try to force any movement here. They just really want to get back into mid and kind of just hold out from there. You do have the crab now being invested on this right side, just trying to see if they can keep that control. The pen taken out by Phantom Liberty does give Tamaris a little bit of a player advantage here. Do they choose to pick up this Rainmaker, or are they just going to hold it? Okay, they're going to pick up the Rainmaker here. Now threatening yet another push here. I mean, 27 is a great lead to really hold on to, but the Rainmaker won't really make its way much further. A nice Zuka shot will shut that down here. 50 seconds left. Phantom Liberty really need to force the issue here. You do see the Gal trying to do that. Just that, unfortunately, is taken out. Kraken is invested as well here. But again, Tamaris just trying to play it safe. The Kraken does manage to find one on that back end here. But, I mean, again, Phantom Liberty comes all the pressure on them to make that first move.
Yeah, I like the Kraken there, just doing a full circle of the little raise in the middle and manages to get a pick by just circling around and going the other way. So Phantom Liberty, they are still down. They do need to get this lead back, and they don't have too long to do it, and they've lost the 96, so that's not going to help their case. And just holding ground at this point, honestly, just painting. They're probably going to like try and hold Rainmaker around the mid, not make another push at this point. But the S-Blast suddenly coming in, and that is 2 down on Phantom Liberty. So I think, on Tamaris' side, so I think Phantom Liberty might have one more chance here. 2 down for Tamaris. Phantom Liberty do have the Rainmaker in overtime. They've lost the player. They have a fair bit to do for him, but 27 is not the biggest push to overtake. Maybe they can do it.
See if they do. They are just slowly but surely moving up. Rainmaker in overtime is always so scary because all it takes is one straight bomb or something to just take out that Rainmaker and it is over. You do see the whales being invested, the crab being placed here as well, managing to take out PSG Win. 2 players down on the side of Phantom Liberty, running out of time, running out of space, locked into a corner here. The burst bombs come in, and that is the scary part of Rainmaker in overtime. Eventually, something's got to give. All that chipping was just too much as Tamaris takes game 1.
Yeah, and that ending, again, I think kind of summed up what you said about Scorch Gorge. I mean, just getting through that right choke area, there was just so much being thrown at that Rainmaker carrier for about 20-30 seconds. It felt like there was the whale, there were burst bombs, there was a crab tank, and it's just so hard to push through. I mean, obviously the teammates are going ahead of the Rainmaker, but it's just such a choke point. You know, the other team basically just has to throw everything at that, and it's very difficult to get through. And yeah, they weren't able to do that.
I did see the S-Blast get a lot of key picks just camping under those ledges, especially. It was impressive being able to cancel, I believe, not 1, but 2 crab tanks as well. Unfortunately, though, they just weren't able to defend against Tamaris' Surge and kind of forced them into a very tricky situation here as Arsenal just tried to make something happen here, just trying to surge forward, but eventually was taken out. So a little bit of an opportunity loss here, but I mean, we are now in best of 5, I believe. Yes, we are in best of 5, so anything can happen with the rest of these games as we move to TC Mako Mart. But I mean, I want to take a look at the comps that were ran there. You had Phantom Liberty, I believe, running a Squeezer, 96, S-Blast, and Pen, which is, when you take a look at it, a kind of slower comp.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I mean, out of those, the Pen, I mean, obviously most of the paint is going to come from the Pen, but I feel like the other weapons don't really paint too well, so it is very much just like a slow comp, but I guess they're just going to rely on hitting their shots, really. I mean, that definitely with S-Blast and Squeezer, that's what you want from those 2 weapons, just making sure you're hitting the shots. And, you know, the 96 just comes in with the Kraken. I feel like the Kraken was getting quite a bit of value in that game.
For sure, yeah, and I can see it getting a lot more value here, kind of similarly to how GG Strikes would work. You just hop on that tower with the Kraken and everyone else has to get off of it. As well, Auraboy on that S-Blast as well is going to be really, really good on Mako Mart TC, just because of how the map is structured. There's so many corners, so many ledges to kind of play around. I feel like Auraboy just has a playground to really kind of work with here, especially with that Booyah Bomb as well, providing another special to not only take space, but also basically force off anyone on that tower, though.
Yeah, and I think they've dropped the 96 deco for dualies, actually. So that is a little bit more to be said about it as a slow comp, but that is going to be a bit quicker for them, definitely having a dualies. Maybe that's what Phantom Liberty felt they were lacking in that first game. You know, just bring out a bit more aggression. It is a crab tank dualies, and there's going to be a fight on the stack. Just trying to control that stack right now. The crab tank is ready, but there's players all around mid. The whale comes out from the 52, going to try and make something happen on the stack at the bottom of the screen. Gal trying to go in and get something, but they get taken out. So Phantom Liberty, chance for a first. I mean, it's still quite neutral right now. But yeah, suddenly 2 down for Tamaris, and I'm pretty sure Phantom Liberty are going to get the first push hit, especially with that caller out as well.
Yes, and this first checkpoint is usually kind of a given after getting that first team fight, but I mean, this is a common theme, I feel like, for a lot of TC maps now that I think about it. The second checkpoints being the most brutal ones. I mean, you see where it is right here, where 23 is. You have a lot of height of just, like, platforms that the defending team can kind of really get through, and if you don't have the resources or the specials or, I mean, just a player up there, then you're just unable to. You do see the Gal getting a flank onto that crab there, being able to take it out completely, and that will spell the end of the push for Phantom Liberty, but I mean, it's a solid push nonetheless. I mean, it's not much you can really complain about. You did get that checkpoint here, so it could be helpful in future pushes.
Yeah, they got the first checkpoint. Push kind of ended where a lot of pushers do, just trying to get through that left-hand side where there's a ledge directly above you. And it's quite similar to Hagglefish. You know, when you're pushing, you want someone to be able to get up there to deny the other team of coming in. And I mean, Tamaris have a Slosher, which is a really good weapon to do that. The other team has an S-Blast as well, but the Slosher I find can kind of hit their Sloshers a little bit further onto that side of the platform. But Tamaris having a straight fight with the crab on this side. Phantom Liberty again have the tower, and there's only one alive. That's kind of a wipe. The Slosher is coming back in, but they did lose all 4 players there. So more opportunity for Phantom Liberty. No one really top left, so it is going to go past that already, and this is a real chance for a lot of points. Having said that, they have lost 2 players.
Yeah, that crab being able to snipe out that S-Blast there, kind of denying Phantom Liberty any really poking power here. Now on this left side, Tamaris try to do some of the same here, trying to fight fire with fire. Unfortunately, Bucket does go down there before it can find much value, and they go 2 down as well. Tamaris here just has the worry. You do have this splash, just maybe try to see if they can get something here. Does see the overwhelming numbers not leaning in their favor. We'll just try to live to fight another day here. Phantom Liberty right back into business, right back into mid, and with 2 players falling from Tamaris, they'll try their 3rd attempt here, trying to get to that 2nd checkpoint.
They will, and I'm assuming someone called that player out because they immediately went back to deal with that sharking player. And Phantom Liberty, again, they seem to be in much more control this game. Tamaris not been able to get too much of a push. Much better coordination from Phantom Liberty. So far, there's still a minute and a half left, and we've seen what Tamaris can do. Let's see if they can gain a foothold in this game. But, I mean, they just seem to be losing players all the time. The Pen is going to have to jump out. And it looks like they have actually been able to gain quite a lot of control on Tamaris' side. So I'd imagine this is probably going to be more points unless they collapse on the right. But yeah, Phantom Liberty, excuse me, again in a lot of control.
Yeah, you see Phantom Liberty slowly but surely kind of changing their focus from the right side to the left side of Tamaris here. You do see players now just jumping into the side of Tamaris. That 1-for-1 trade will be had, and 1 more point will be scored, yes, but now with a minute left, Phantom Liberty got to start thinking to themselves, some risks are not meant to be taken here. You do have a sizable lead, but I mean, you still have to worry about a comeback from Tamaris here as time is winding down. 45 seconds left. Phantom Liberty still putting all the pressure on Tamaris, just trying to see if they can end a potential retake before it can even start going here. Now down to 35. You have Phantom Liberty's Crab and Pen. Cooler to kind of worry about here, but you don't really have anything from Tamaris to retake that, especially if that Zuka hits.
Yeah, definitely, and the Slosher was able to take top left. This game has been pretty much all Phantom Liberty from the word go. The Pen can't do much by themselves. It's pretty much just a desperate push back in at this point to stop the KO, but they're not going to be able to do it. Phantom Liberty ties up this set, and it looks like the change from the 96 to the Julies was very helpful for them.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to mention that crab came in handy, and not only that, the mobility and the fighting power from the dualies in itself, giving a little bit more painting for the S-Blast to kind of really operate as well, was kind of the key factor of that. I mean, you did see PSG when just trying to take that flank. You see right there on your screen, taking that bottom flank, kind of drawing 2 players away and just being kind of that annoying frontline player that is just so difficult to kind of deal with, kind of just poking at you, kind of chipping at you, that you do have to draw players to. You have to give it attention, but I mean, that paired with the rest of Phantom Liberty moving in simultaneously is just tough to deal with. And we saw Tamaris there, just unfortunately not able to deal with it as they lose that one. Now with the series tied up 1-1. It is now Tamaris' time maybe to just adapt, change something here, or will they roll with the same thing as we will be moving to Clam Blitz Museum yet again?
Clams Museum again. Oh, for a sec I thought we already had that in this set, but it was literally the last game before it, wasn't it?
Mhm.
But yeah, Clams Museum. Well, we've already seen it, and I mean that game kind of went as I would expect the Clams Museum game to go. I did say it is. I think we both said it's a very stally map, and I felt like the last game went a bit like that, with one of the teams just risking a push a little bit too much at the end, and the other team kind of counter pushed to win it. And to be honest, I would expect the same here with these two, the way this has been going. With I feel like Jawleys and 90s, I feel like both of them would be decent picks here, but considering Jawleys went so well for Phantom Liberty, maybe they want to stick with a weapon like that. I don't know if exactly the same weapon, or at least a weapon of that style with how fast it plays compared to 96. I feel like that's maybe what their comp was missing from game 1.
I just know it's going to be crab galore, either on the plat or on that spinner there. That's just going to be the main thing. Whichever side is able to get control of mid, is able to kind of get their crab placed onto that mid spinner to kind of threaten that ramp area to get that push going here. So I would imagine, kind of like you mentioned, probably the same comps we saw from Game 2 as those dualies did come in handy there. But I mean, obviously, Clamblitz does provide you a little bit more opportunity to kind of get into your face, kind of get into a more fighting thing. Tamaris will stay the same. And actually, we will see the Squeezer return here. Squeezer dualies, however, this time. And Orboy's still sticking on that S-Blast. But yeah, interesting now to bring back that Squeezer.
Yeah, for sure. Not many changes on Tamaris. I don't think they've changed anything, actually. They seem quite confident with the Splash Gal, Buckets, Pencil, and that is a trade coming out. And this is they're very quickly trying to take space on Tamaris' platform, Phantom Liberty, and they're doing a pretty decent job of it. The Jawleys, again, getting value straight away, although it does turn into a trade. Phantom Liberty, they did try that. I mean, it was a good attempt, like a 20-second push onto their plat, but I think they lost too many players. But Tamaris, they're only going to be able to get back as far as mid. And a Crab Tank on the far left-hand side there, you can see. And I think they're getting value out of it. They got one, almost took out the Splash as well, but the Splash was able to retreat. I mean, we're seeing a lot of aggression already from both teams here. They both really want to make their mark at the start of this game.
Yep, and you see the first crab being invested and taken out yet again by Orboy. That's now 3 for 3 there for those being taken. And creating so much space for the rest of Phantom Liberty as well. Already up here. Unfortunately, isn't able to pop Booyah Bomb in time to be able to kind of create more space and kind of save their life here. As now Phantom Liberty kind of surge forward, managing to get the ball into the basket. But will there be any clams? Yes, you do see PSG win. Already in a great position there on that top left kind of side. And now giving jumps as well to Mikey. Now more clams going in. Very, very difficult for Tamaris to try to deal with this, as now you're forced to go up there to kind of deal with this. Now another ball will make its way in there as well, down to 27. This has been a very, very massive push by Phantom Liberty, very nicely executed as well. Now down to even further, down to 21, as with 3 players down. That will spell the end for their push, but I mean, what a push it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's by far the biggest push we've seen on Phantom Museum so far today. I really liked how quickly that Jawleys was able to get onto that section. That's really what you want when you're pushing. You can just run along those breaks to get there, and it provides 2 jump spots for the teammates to come in and just get more clams and keep that push going. All of a sudden, like the defensive team, they have to like focus on 2 different areas. They have to look at the front and the players up there. So yeah, really well coordinated by Phantom Liberty, and that's a huge push.
Yeah, with half the game left to be played here, what can you do if you're on the side of Tamaris? You gotta either get a more monumentous push, just like Phantom Liberty did, or you gotta chip it one after another push. You do see, though, Phantom Liberty being able to cancel out that crab and kind of forcing Tamaris on their back foot here. Now a 2v2 kind of being had. Yes, the jumps will be coming in, but this is all we'll see so far. You do see the Bucket managing to get a pick there onto PSG1, just trying to slowly move forward. 2 balls into their possession. The Whales and Strikes being invested as well, as this could be the opening for their push. They do get 1, they do get 2 in, but will there be any more clams? Yes, there will follow, but how fast can Phantom Liberties get back to that spinner area? They are able to take out 2, and that'll be the end of Tamaris' push, but I mean a solid one to kind of cut that lead down.
Yeah, definitely. They've got some points on the board. It looked pretty solid for a while, but then I just don't think they had enough plans to overtake the lead at least. But they've got something, and they are closer to overtaking it. That Crab Tank was a little bit defensive. I don't know if they realized how quickly they were being rushed down. So that grab tag is quickly dealt with. And the Jawlies immediately doing work. They get taken out. Mikey not able to get anything with the Zuka, but it looks like momentum is shifted back to Phantom Liberty. Gal versus Gal, Wolf versus Wolf. Sorry, one of them's a Squeezer. Gal versus Squeezer, but it is Wolf versus Wolf still. And Phantom Liberty are able to get the basket open again. They lose 2 players. I mean, they have Caller. Are they going to be able to go in? No. And I think, are they going to? Okay, they didn't have time. They didn't have time. They've got 7 clams as well, so they might drop all of those, or they're going to go. The pen is on their top left.
Wow.
So, they're in a great spot. They've got jump spot. I mean, they just need one more clam, but they get taken out. And that is 3 down. The S-Blast is mid. They're not backing off, though. They're sharking by that block. They want a pick on a Tamaris player. They let that player go by. They're going for the power clam. Oh, surely they get... No, they're not quite able to. Okay, well, that would have been good, but they're not quite able to capitalize on that shark. It was looking really good for a while. But the Jawlies is going for a flank instead. They're behind the pen. I don't think they see them. No, they don't. So much aggression coming out from Phantom Liberty. Like, if it's either a flank or a sharky, you just have to watch out for where these players are at all times.
And I'm just holding my breath, just kind of thinking back to what we saw previously on this map between 2 other teams, just the dangers of over-aggressing, but this time Phantom Liberty seemed to just be able to just get value out of it straight up. 10 seconds left here. What can you do if you're on the side of Tamaris? I believe you still have that pity to kind of really work with here. However, you need to get this space back in mid soon. You do see Mikey just trying to threaten that left side, and it thought they had a pity. It didn't look like... It seemed like that pity did make its way up to the ramp, if I'm not mistaken, but was then dropped, because I swore they did have a pity off of that initial push, but I mean, guess not.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't have a pity, which is why overtime didn't start. I'll be honest, I thought they did as well, but they must have used it or dropped it already earlier in the game. But I mean, I feel like most of that game was just momentum to Phantom Liberty, just so much like aggression coming out, giving Tamaris so much to think about. Well, I mean, not giving them time to think, really. I think that was just the play. Just have the S-Blast, all the Jawlies just running at them at all times. We even saw the pen at the end there go onto their side of the map, and they almost got like a power clam in from that. They just got taken out at the last second. But yeah, just so much pressure from Phantom Liberty, and it got the job done here.
That they did, and now they threaten a gentleman's sweep over Tamaris here. Yes, they were down 0-1 to initially start things, but after that changed and after that adjustment added to the dualies, I mean, it's been all Phantom Liberty here so far. Will they continue that hot streak on Robo Ramen zones? A very another classic mode, I think, in terms of zones here. Probably my second favorite zone map, but it's still a solid one nonetheless. Obviously, the key factor, the key point to really hold on to is going to be that elbow area once you have control of the zone here. But now with zones being played, this does put a little bit of paints a little bit more of a different picture in terms of the weapons of both comps.
Yeah, it does. I know one of these teams has been bringing a Slosher, and I would fully expect that one to stay in the mix because it is very good here on Robo Ramen. Yeah, I'd agree. It's one of my favorites as well, Splat Zone's Robo Ramen. I feel like, I mean, obviously, if you take their zone, you want to take that elbow space, as you said. But I feel like on the defensive team, there's at least a few more options here coming back in. Like you can kind of go left if you want. It's a bit of a wider open map for that. And also coming in at the start of the game, you've got so many options. You've got the left flank, right flank, straight through the middle, on the wall up to core, or the elbow. So yeah, it's a great map. I don't think there are any changes on Tamaris' side at all. They're still bringing the bucket. Is that a 96? Yeah, yes. It is. It's the VAC 96 coming out this time for Phantom Liberty.
Interesting choice, but I do like it just for the sake of pushing up that elbow area, just being able to kind of thrive with just basically denying an entire area. I can kind of see it as just basically a Diet 10 Umbrella Shield, you just like get everything. I mean, you see it already taking up a lot of the crab shots, but actually from the top rope jumping in is that Gal managing to backstab that VAC. Really nicely done there. You do see the crab now being invested by Phantom Liberty as well to try to hold paint control, but I mean, no picks will be had for the side of Phantom Liberty as Tamaris will be the first ones in control of the zone and continue to try to take their lead.
Yeah, Tamaris with a strong start here. They got that back out so fast, but yeah, I don't know how that Gal or Splash was able to get that pick because they were dropping onto the below platform, but they just hit a couple of shots and got the job and jumped straight back out. That being said, this has switched around quite quickly back into Phantom Liberty's favor, and they have the VAC ready to go, and they will be using it. So that's pretty much going to deny this whole elbow. They've just chained, I think they've chained all of their specials together there. They had Cooler up as well. Crab versus Crab. A lot of aggression coming out from them. Again, too much for Tamaris to think about. That being said, Tamaris do get a pick, and they look like they might be able to come back in. But, I mean, they've still got this elbow locked down, Phantom Liberty. Finally, Tamaris break through a little bit. 2 picks, and they are going to look to very quickly push the other side. Well, they've lost 2 players there, and they're not able to take the zone back, Rocket.
Yeah, they haven't been able to, and Phantom Liberty have been able to put a monstrous comeback here. They've been able to kind of hold on to that. Yes, the penalty will be forced onto them, but I mean, Tamaris now just put on that back foot here, now down 2-1 in the series, is feeling a little bit of pressure kind of starting to mount. A beautiful back shot predicts the Pens movement, being able to take them out here, and now being able to create so much space for Phantom Liberty to kind of move onto this elbow area. You do see the Gal and Splash just trying to desperately be that front line, trying to push it open. You do see the Dualies being taken out, the Crab being invested to try to force this retake, and the tri-strikes are available, but I mean, Phantom Liberty have been pretty good at holding this area here.
Yeah, they have. They just, Tamaris always have players down. They just don't seem to ever have, you know, enough players to really form a push and pressure on Phantom Liberty's side of the map. The Slosher took about 95 damage there. They were so close to getting taken out. They do survive at least. 2 down for Phantom Liberty. Another chance for Tamaris to try and push back in. Out come the strikes. No one's really there to kind of take advantage of that. It was initially strikes to get back in, but they're not, again, not quite able to. I mean, Phantom Liberty is still 2 down, but the Pen is alive, and they are just holding space, delaying Tamaris' push back in. They do have another chance now. Again, 2 players down. Can they finally take advantage? No, huge pick on the Julie. So it's just Phantom Liberty's players, you know, if they have 1 or 2 left, they just seem to be getting these clutch picks, which is just going to delay Tamaris. I mean, they have the zone, but it doesn't look too confident. Again, the VAC is out, so I think this zone is going to go back the other way.
Yeah, at this point in the stage of things, Phantom Liberty, all they have to do is just kind of trade specials, kind of play it a little bit more safer here. But I mean, Tamaris, with 2 players going down on the side of Phantom Liberty, are able to get control of the zone. So this is where things can get really, really dangerous, especially since the Dualies go down here. Trip strikes are available in the hands of this Slosher, in the hands of 23. You do see the Bucket popping their strikes as well. 3 specials all at once being invested by Tamaris to just see if they can take this lead. The VAC and the Booyah will be used on the other side for Phantom Liberty, being able to force the penalty. They're holding onto a very, very slim 3-point lead there. And now Phantom Liberty, just by the skin of their teeth, still hold firm here, as now with a minute left, time is running out for Tamaris to get in.
Yeah, it did actually look for a second. Despite what I said, it looked like Tamaris might take the lead back there, but fair play to Phantom Liberty. They were just about able to coordinate the vacuum and the BR bomb to take it back, and their penalty time is now done, and that timer is ticking closer to 0 as they get more points on the board. There really is just 1 more chance left for Tamaris to push back in and keep this set going. Zone neutralized, but can they cap and put a penalty timer back on? Slord is in a bit of trouble on the Gal, and they go ahead of the wall and just get taken out. Phantom Liberty holding on to this. This could be the set. This could be them into winners finals. The strikes come out. Oh, the zone is so close to being flipped. They do flip it, but there's 20 seconds left and they've lost 3 players. They still don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, now everything has to be basically perfect for Tamaris here. You need to get into the zone. You have so much space you have to go through, especially with this VAC now just basically denying this left side, forcing these players to kind of just see if they can push in through right. You do see 2 players go down there as everyone from the side of Tamaris just jumps down there, see if they can get anything going, but they are unfortunately slaughtered down there. As with that being said, Phantom Liberty, with a 3-1 win in a gentleman's sweep, will punch their ticket into finals.
Yeah, they will. They definitely, well, they changed something after Game 1 for sure. You know, they changed the comp a little bit. And I'm not sure if they ever brought back the exact comp they were running in Game 1. Well, they didn't, because Game 1 had a Kraken. But yeah, I don't know if it was just the map they're a bit less comfortable on Scorch Rainmaker, but I mean, the rest of the set looks fairly comfortable. Tamaris definitely had moments in this game where especially when they pushed to about 30 points and it looked like they might be able to bring it back. But I just feel like the special coordination from Tamaris as well, but Phantom Liberty was just like they knew when to activate their specials and they were chaining them together so well to get like as much value out of them as possible. And there was some great Vax in that game. I mean, the explosion it is so big, you can get caught out, especially on Ramen, where like the higher platform and elbow, it's not too big, so like a vacuum explosion, if you're in that area, it can get dangerous. And yeah, they definitely put that to good use that game, I thought.
I mean, for sure, like you saw right on your screen there, you did see Mikey being able to take up all that space. We are taking a little bit of a quick look into winners bracket semis. The other side of this, where Bald is currently down 0-2 against the team that does not have a name, so we'll just call them blank, or just straight up just blank there. Is it actually 1-1? Okay, it does look like, I believe it, Sendu does have a misreported score of it being 2-0. It's actually 1-1 on the side, on both sides here. Taking a look at your screen here, very close to closing out this game 3 as well. A ballpoint and tent umbrella comp is very interesting to see, Conrad.
Yeah, I will say actually, this is 3 Point Divers. I know this team. They're about to close out this set by the looks of it. Yeah, I believe that was Operation Zero they were fighting. Yeah, so that's losers round 3.
Oh.
That was Hyperstars POV. Yeah, I just sorry, I recognized that straight away. So I think that was a best of 3. Yeah, so they are through to losers round 4, which is the same round where Tamaris have just dropped to. So yeah, 3 Point Divers will play against either Man in the Mirror or Bold, or the other team. In fact, I think they are playing Bold. I'm not really sure what's going on with that other set and reporting. But yeah, 3 Point Divers, they run a very fun kind of off-meta comp, which is why you saw Tent and Rush and Ballpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do like it though. I like it though. I mean, you do have the brush to kind of just move up with the Tent Umbrella, kind of being very threatening. Ballpoint kind of support it. And we do have our winners bracket finals matchup kind of set for us already. Kind of not to the surprise of some people. I mean, it's kind of to be expected. The top 2 seeds being the Hershey pickup of just no name, just straight up versus Phantom Liberty. So that will be our grand finals matchup. Still best of 5. Bald will be moving down to loser bracket round 4. Well, they'll be facing 3 Point Divers. And on the other side of losers bracket, you have Tamaris versus Split Magnolia there. So those 4 teams still trying to fight to come out of losers bracket. But we'll be taking a look at winners bracket finals.
Yeah, we're back for Paddling Pool number 318. Still same commentators. I am Rocket, joined by Conroe, and we'll be taking a look at our two teams. We, yes, we do have Phantom Liberty versus the team that will not be named. But I mean, you see their wonderful producer Jordan is showing us right there. You have Connor VA, beautiful, wonderful picture of them. But we're just gonna jump straight into it for the game one. We'll be having Rainmaker, Scorch Gorge.
Yeah, Rainmaker Scorch once again. I am also Connor, so we've got two Connors on the stream right now. Yes, Sea Dog is just there, I guess. Aim Sea Dog. Is what I said. Yeah, so anyway, winners final. This is best of 5. We are seeing Rainmaker Scorch again. These are the top 2 seeds in the tournament. You will recognize most of these players, I'm pretty sure. We did just see Phantom Liberty win 3-1 against last week's winners tomorrow, so they'll be in losers semi-final, sorry. And both these teams bring in an S-Blast.
Yeah, very interesting to see that. You do have Phantom Liberty still sticking with those dualies, unfortunately. Do go 2 down to Aim Slop as they kind of just slowly but surely move forward. You have a very wonderful name, Lana Del Rey, moving forward there with that Rainmaker, being able to already get that checkpoint pop, now continuing to move forward here as Aim Slop continue to kind of surge with this. They do have Cooler to be used as well. Liam just trying to see if they can get that Zuka in play. You have Silver just kind of leading the way for that Rainmaker to move in, and so much space has already been created.
Yeah, this is a really good start for, it's Aim Slop now, there you go. Aim Slop, the number 1 seed in this. They push it to 34. They get a little bit stuck thanks to Barrage of Ink from the other team, who are able to break the shield. At least 2 players down for Aim Slop, so they're going to struggle to keep this push going. But Liam is just holding space on this left side. They're getting jumps for their team. Phantom Liberty are able to pick it up. I don't think they were able to reset up. Maybe that's what they were going for, but no, they get taken out by the shot who was just on that left side the entire time. So the Rainmaker is not safe from the perspective of Phantom Liberty. It's still here. And Aim Slop, they've got a Kraken on them, but they are just going to go onto the Grates and not get taken out by that. And the Gal, they live for about 5 shots there, but they do eventually get taken down. This Rainmaker is still here, and it is finally picked up by Phantom Liberty and dropped.
Oof. A very difficult position, though, to take that Rainmaker away from that dangerous spot will lead to Aim Slop just being able to get that wipeout. Now, being able to get great positioning here, they will be delayed coming back to this midpoint, which will give Phantom Liberty a little bit of an opportunity to try to retake this, but Liam just kind of leading the way on this shot, also as well on this left side. Silver trying to go in, trying to make something happen. Liam goes down, the Pen goes down as well. Now, 3 players in total from Aim Slop going down is just left to Silver, who does go down themselves. Now the jump's just going in for the side of Aim Slop. Liam here on this left side, still lurking, trying to get something going, but Phantom Liberty, a great counter-attack, could lead them to that checkpoint here. They do have to worry about the sharking shot, though, but I mean, both sides losing 2 players, still pretty even for this fight for mid.
Yeah, definitely. I like how much sharking this shot is doing. That is the player that was kept Phantom Liberty from resetting it for so long when they had that push going, and then they just spent a lot of that time sharking on the left, and it took them a while to get rid of him, and by then, you know, it's 2v2. Having said that, Phantom Liberty are able to at least get it through the checkpoint. They have a Crab Tank who isn't able to do much because of the Zitcaster, but they go down as well. The shot goes down, I should say. So it looks like Phantom Liberty is still able to get this going. 2 players down, and now they have a Kraken, so that's going to be constant pressure. They're going for the lead with the Rainmaker, and they just about get it, and there are a lot of players going down on Aim Slop as well. The Rainmaker gets stopped at 23, but that is the lead going to Phantom Liberty. The Pen is going to get rushed down, so that is pushover, but yeah, huge work from Phantom Liberty to take the lead.
Well, seemingly looks like a very large lead that would take multiple pushes to kind of get through. I mean, all it took for Phantom Liberty was 1 fell swoop to get it right back, and not only that, with the lead as well, they can kind of sit pretty here as this part of the map, this part of Scorch Gorge is so brutal to push through. Yet again, I want to echo what we've kind of both mentioned in that previous set of just like how difficult it is to push through. It's not quite common you see a scoreline just as this, but I mean, you see it here. An unfortunate bomb or a fortunate bomb based on whoever you're rooting for here will kind of stop Aim Slop's push here. Kind of dead into the water. Silver just trying to see if they can find something. Runs out of ink, unfortunately, is taken out, and that means Aim Slop's push is thwarted.
Yeah, Fox push is thwarted. The Julies immediately trying to recover and they do get a pick as well. So yeah, 2 down for it's 2 down for Acelop. So Phantom Liberty has the Julie. Sorry, I got the teams mixed up there. And again, they're just coming back in. They have a Kraken ready. No doubt that is going to come out. I mean, they've lost 2 players, but the Kraken is just going to shark. Whether they activate that to try and get some jumps back in or not. I mean, Aimslop, they got a couple of picks, but they weren't really able to pressure the Rainmaker. Just nice patient play from Phantom Liberty to keep this push going. It's just constant pressure against Aimslop, and they're just holding it in the corner until they have a push, although they do lose 3 players. Gal is sharking somewhere by the looks of it. They've still got the Kraken ready, and I think they got some jumps in. The Julies, we saw them being so aggressive in the previous set, do get taken down. So the push is over, 20 seconds left, and it is on Aimslop. They have to be the ones to get that Rainmaker and take the lead on the other side of the map.
And this is where you start hoarding your specials if you're on the side of Phantom Liberty. You want to use them all in one fell swoop, basically leaving the Rainmaker no opportunity to sneak through and get by here. You do have that Kraken, like you mentioned, still in the hands of Phantom Liberty. S-Blast does go down early here, so a little bit of a numbers advantage. Mikey now surging forward with that Kraken being invested, aiming straight for that Rainmaker, forcing them back into mid, buying a little bit more time for the rest of Phantom Liberty to get in, but they go 2 players down here, and a great opportunity for Aimslop to kind of move forward. You have to be a little bit cautious, however, as with that time, the Crab has been activated, and now a potential lane has opened here. You do see them just slowly but surely making their way, but unfortunately, the S-Blast is there just in time as Phantom Liberty survived that comeback attempt and lived to fight another day. A fair 1-point lead, basically, by the buzzer right there, managing to take that one.
Wow, yeah, I did not expect that to be as close as it was. All of a sudden, Aimslop were just getting the picks they needed. It was just down to the Pen and the Crab. I'm not sure if the Crab was just getting pressured by something, maybe a Zipcast or a Zuka, but they kind of had to just stop at the end of the game. The S-Blast doing work as well. It was a Zipcast going in. I think the Zipcast had just ended. But yeah, they just went for the push at the end, and I guess the S-Blast was able to respawn in time. Immediately went to where the Rainmaker was and got the shot away before Aimslop were able to take the lead. So yeah, what a game one, just 1 point in it. And that was the push that got Phantom Liberty the lead. So they are leading. We have another another pitcher added to Cedo. I can't really make out what's going on. I mean, besides basketball and a bunch of country flags.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I have a feeling this is reference to, there was a team called LeBron and the Lakers Cell. I don't know if it's a reference to that, but I believe that is their team banner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm drawing from this. But yes, the team that has a mysterious name there, you have now Connor and LeBron and the Lakers. So I mean, yeah, just trying to see if they can bounce back from that game one. I mean, Phantom Liberty just showing their resilience in that one. I mean, a very, very abrupt push that we initially saw from them just like ended up counteracted by Phantom Liberty, just trying to move forward here. You do see some, I believe that were some weapon changes. We will have Starks 1 and 2s. Now, I think that is the same comp. No, yeah, that is the same comp coming from them. On the other side, though, the interesting change being with that Rapid Blast with Pro Deco.
Yeah, Rapid Pro Deco, and I know they can use this weapon. I've seen them play this weapon a lot. I'm not sure how often they mix it with the Pen. Maybe they do, and I'm just not sure. But it is interesting to see a pencil and a Rapid Blaster Pro Deco coming out. You know, 2 kind of weapons. I mean, I don't know if Rapid Pro Deco is strictly a backline, but I kind of see it that way. You know, it's that kind of weapon. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's worked out for them. The splat zone's on Barnacle. They've immediately set up here. Oh, Zuka, that's going to be a wipe surely. Kind of is. The Stamper had just come back in. I mean, the comp is working wonders for them already. I can't believe how quickly they got set up on the other team's side. They're starting to get some picks back in, but they lose the S-Blast. So yeah, Phantom Liberty are holding on to this.
Yeah, Starks 1s and 2s, just trying to see if they can move in here. 45 ticks left onto Phantom Liberty's side. You see Pooh just trying to move in, managing to get a nice flick there onto Mikey, managing to take out 2, and for their reward, they will get a 3rd as well, basically opening the door for Starks to kind of just move in. You have the Zipcaster also available on the side of Starks with that Zuka being invested as well. A lot of specials to kind of play around with, basically all the specials online for them to really kind of work with, try to chip away at this lead here. Booyah Bomb now being invested, trying to hold on to this plot area. You do have a player sneaking around, unfortunately, is taken out for Phantom Liberty, but what looks like a very good lead for Phantom Liberty is looking like a very wonderful comeback here, as Bake is taken out by this blaster as well.
But in the meantime, Phantom Liberty were able to take back the zone, so that is going to be a hefty penalty time on Sotarks 1-2. Yeah, we're switching the name every round, I guess, of this blank team name. So yeah, they do have the zone back again now. It is on them to maintain control. The S-Blast has BR Bomb ready. The pen is fairly close to Cooler as well. Are they going to be able to kind of push forward and apply any more kind of pressure on Phantom Liberty's side? Because they haven't really taken their pit area. They are set up on top left, which is definitely step one. I mean, having said all that, I think they're about to take the lead unless they're very quickly about to push in. They've lost one, they've lost two, and Phantom Liberty surely about to take the zone back before the lead is flipped. Yes, they do, and this jump is just about punished as well. So Phantom Liberty again just holding on to that lead by coordinating themselves properly.
Yeah, Sotarks 1s, 2s, just trying to see if they can get back that lead here, as they are just very, very close to it, but they do have a lot of penalty to kind of work through there. But first, we need to worry about getting into the zone, as Phantom Liberty are basically done with their penalty here. Now they're trying to extend that lead. You do have Pooh on this S-Blast, just trying to see if they can find something going here. You do have that Booyah Bomb coming online soon. You have the Cooler now being placed. Actually, that Blaster will fall here. 15 ticks left for Phantom Liberty to try to hold on to. Sotarks 1s, 2s need to just get into the zone with everything they can. Basically kind of just throwing their bodies at the zone, unfortunately, isn't going to be enough, as Phantom Liberty take a 2-0 commanding lead in a very, very interesting fashion as well, because that one seemed very close during that midpoint, but then afterwards, once they were able to kind of hold on to the zone, they were dominantly holding it.
Yeah, definitely. We saw it at the start of the game and to close out the game as well. I mean, I think there were like effective lockouts there on both teams, because Team Blank or Sotarks 1-2, whatever they're known as in today's game, they got a good lockout as well, kind of halfway through that, and it really looked like they might take the lead. I'm not sure if some members on Phantom Liberty kind of snuck around and were able to take the zone back, but from that point at least, that was definitely, yeah, that was a huge few picks there from the S-Blast to get the team back in. But yeah, later Phantom Liberty, just really good coordination on this push. It felt like everyone kind of knew where to position themselves to keep the other team from coming back in. And yeah, that's 2-0, and they're only one game away from Grand Finals.
And that was a very interesting comp that Phantom Liberty kind of pulled out as well. The double, like, longer range blaster. It was basically death by 1,000 chips, if you kind of think about it. I mean, you have the S-Blast to kind of poke from afar and from up close. You have the pen to poke from afar, and you obviously have that rapid blaster to just do the same. So basically just getting these players weak, and with the shot to kind of complement that as well, being able to kind of just chip away at all these players, not being able to... I mean, sometimes they might be able to get the direct kill, yes, but even if not, being able to get them low enough for the trade, Phantom Liberty, they're kind of playing and adjusting to their map really, really effectively. Now, what interests me is Clam Blitz Umami, because I feel like it's built a little bit similarly to Barnacle and Dime, kind of just in the sense of, like, there are very, very long passageways to kind of work through.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's basically the same idea. You've got middle, you've got left, and you've got right where you can go, and it's quite open in the middle, all of Umami. But then it really narrows itself down where the actual basket is. There really is only one route, kind of two routes if you think about jumping onto the block and onto their grates, which is quite a good space to go if you just want to throw clans in after the basket is open. But yeah, I'd expect, you know, players to be maybe splitting off, you know, two one way to another, and it's just going to be about who can win the first fight, like we saw on Barnacle earlier in the tournament.
For sure. And now, if you're on the side of Connor and the Lakers, pretty much, what do? As now down 0-2 in this series, you might want to change something. No, doesn't look like they're going to change anything here, just trying to run it back, see if they can get something going. But an interesting pick here, that's a Flingza, and not the original Flingza. It is going to be the splat color screen Flingza coming out from Mikey. That's not something you see every day.
No, it isn't. An interesting mix of weapons coming out from Mikey on Phantom Liberty. Hasn't worked quite as well this time because they are 3 players down and they are one of them. But yeah, they've gone from whatever they used in game 1 to Rapid Blaster Pro Deco to Foil Flingzer, I believe. So yeah, interesting. But I mean, I can kind of see it on this map because, as I said, there is a big choke point where the basket is. So if you put screen down there, it's a lot of you know, the team has a lot of defensive team has a lot to think about because you don't know where they're going to hide behind that screen. So we see a lot of picks. 16 clams on the side of, what is it now? Your Mammy Roses.
Mommy Roses. I think that's poking fun at the name. I believe that is a meme going on of just like that's how Umami Ruin should be pronounced, or Mommy Roses, or your Mommy Roses. But anyways, I digress. You do see Phantom Liberty is actually managing to get a pick there, just being able to get into that basket. The jump coming in might provide one clam. Nope, won't provide much, as that is a wipeout here. That push won't find much, as your Mommy Roses will slightly push up now, being able to take advantage of that. Liam managing to get a Zuka kill onto Mikey as well, kind of opening things up. Unfortunately, is taken out though.
Yeah, I kind of I like what they were doing because they got the wipe, and I think they were early on in the caller. So really, you've only got one option there, which is just to rush them down and take out more. They got one from the Zuka, but sadly, it doesn't seem to have worked out. They just lost too many players elsewhere and then got taken out themselves. So it has gone straight back to Phantom Liberty, who has jumped on the block and gone top left to throw in the power clam. Not sure if they were able to get set up. They've only got the power clam in for now, but now the clams are following back in the top mid, setting up. They've lost 2 players here. It's just the Flingzer. It's more points on the board. The Flingzer goes down as well. So it's going to be similar here, I think, but the S-Blast is back a little bit sooner this time. Liam, again, very aggressive on the shot, just trying to get something going. Ooh. And the S-Blast, but they've turned it around again, Phantom Liberty. When Umami Roses look like they're going to get a chance to push, suddenly they've lost players, and it's back to neutral. Phantom Liberty just seem to be doing everything right so far.
Yeah, in a blink of an eye, would you look at that? Half the game is already gone here, and nothing on the board for your Mommy Roses here. Another push is coming out from Phantom Liberty. You do see this black color screen kind of just leading the charge towards that. You did see a little bit of points being scored here, but not much to really get in. Bake scoring some as well, now down to the 48-point mark here, as Phantom Liberty just constantly applying this pressure to your Mommy Roses, really not allowing them to get anything going here. Strong control amid and just constant pushes after pushes after pushes has just kind of been their motto here. They do have to worry about your Mommy Roses having a lot of clams for this counterattack, though. I believe at one point I saw that total reach the 25-point mark here, so if something breaks, it could prove disastrous, but Phantom Liberty are holding pretty firm so far, as that is another 3-down situation for your Mommy Roses.
It is. It's a wipeout. It's just, again, just turned around. I mean, I think the Flingzer defensively as well. I mean, you kind of pull shark with a Flingzer. It is a one-hit KO. And maybe that's partly why your Umami Roses are struggling so much to just get past that choke point. I mean, there's an S-Blast to deal with. There's a splatter shot, which of course has suction bombs as well. There's just so much that you have to get through before even getting points on the board. So again, Phantom Liberty turned it around. They're the ones pushing the other basket back. He gets a pick on the pen. It's 2v2. The screen comes out. Mikey trying to take advantage of their own screen. Not quite able to. Baki gets a power and they put it in. I mean, that's the penalty score gone. There was only a penalty of 10, so that's 10 more points on the board. So that's not really that bad there. They've already got quite a sizable lead and they're just adding to it. With only a minute left, this is all on Umami Roses. They have so much to do.
Yeah, and you saw Mikey basically rush down that pen as well. No fear. Playing with so much confidence as Phantom Liberty. And that's really important here. Especially now with 45 seconds left. Phantom Liberty have been really, really effective in just holding their side of the map here. Though they do go 2 players down. It's just the pen and that foil Flingza left here. You do have Cooler being placed by your Mommy Roses to just see if they can get something going here. See if something can go their way. They do first lose off their pen though. So now a little bit of their firepower in their backline. Their tripping of power is gone. They do also lose another player into their shot and a third one as well. Now a delayed wipeout for your Mommy Roses, as Phantom Liberty don't look like they're in any mood to stop here. I mean, they're continuing to score more Conroe, now down to the 21-point mark. Now 10 seconds left. They're basically spawn camping them at this point. A wipeout will be had. A potential knockout situation as well. Mikey is just trying to run over Liam there, but that might spell the end of your Mommy Roses in a knockout situation there. Basically a knockout. Phantom Liberty with a 3-0 clean sweep of your Mommy Roses.
Wow, that was just, I did like that the yeah, I was laughing at the pen. They definitely had the clams to finish that, but I think they wanted to wait just a few seconds. They were just
Mhm.
standing on the dome with the clams. But yeah, that was just dominant that game. It's just Umami Roses, whenever they wanted to push, they just couldn't. I mean, I've got to respect the weapon picks. I'm not sure if it was, specific because they knew what Umami Roses were bringing, but the flings absolutely did work that game. With the screen providing that pressure for them to go in, and I'm assuming they were just trying to force their way in like a lot. They had to try and get through Umami Roses, but Phantom Liberty defensively, pretty much a perfect game. I mean, Umami Roses never even broke the basket, so that was very impressive from them.
Yeah, and surprising too as well. I mean, your Mommy Roses are the favorites in this tournament. The number one seed will be knocked down to losers bracket finals here. Phantom Liberty punching their ticket into grand finals. They'll be the winners bracket. They'll be the winner bracket winners here. So they'll still have that luxury of being able to move to bracket resets in the situation they lose in that first set. But their opponent is still TBD, as you obviously, of course, have the blank team, still there in losers bracket finals. Split Magnolia and 3 Point Divers left in contention, as Split Magnolia versus 3 Point Divers will be your losers bracket semis matchup, but we won't get to that as we'll be doing a commentator switch up. Before we go though, Conroe, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch. I'm just Conroe on there, twitch.tv/Conroe. And on B-Sky, as you can see on the screen, it's Conroe SBL. And where can they find you, Rocket?
Yeah, you can find me at Rocket1 on Blue Sky right there on your screen as well. You can also find me at Rocket_Splat on Twitch. I should be getting things going soon. For the people who follow me, I will be getting a light soon as well, so you can actually see me when I'm doing a webcam. That will be nice as well, but that will do it for us, at least me and Conroe here, so we'll be switching things over to, I believe, Pat and Cactus for the rest of this paddling pool, but until then, we'll be right back after the short break.
And we're back with our losers semifinals. Oh wait, that's not. What are you playing, Jorian?
All right, first hand look. We got Spec Cam starting on the match. Oh, unfortunate, not there. But yes, welcome back to more paddling pool action. Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Pat.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here as well, Cactus. So yeah, Split Magnolia versus 3-point Divers here to decide who's going to go on to losers finals. It's been an intense paddling pool so far. Lots of good teams, lots of great players coming in. So now just a best of 3 to decide between these two teams.
Yeah, you know, both these teams have been making quite the losers run. Both got knocked out in the second round of winners and have been making a non-stop path to victory from losers round 2 up to this moment. They're now here to go against each other in this best of 3 to claim that losers finals spot and potentially have an opportunity to cause an upset and make it to Grants.
Yeah, and starting with Wahoo World on zones, it's going to be a very unique one. I mean, it's not a zones you see that often. Let me check who decided to have this as their pick.
Who can we blame for this? Yeah, it's interesting.
3-point Divers.
Okay. 3-point Divers, you're to blame for this monstrosity of a combination. But you know what? Maybe they know some technique that the rest of us choose not to experience. But right away, look at these comps. I mean, I like the use of Tent, I like the use of the brush. Right away, the supports both go down. Tent immediately getting annihilated there thanks to the heavy edit. But it's 3-point Divers so far kind of hold on to that lead until it gets immediately swapped over.
I think the tent is the reason they tried to go onto this map, but it's not working so far. Split Magnolia is taking control of the map right there and trying to keep 3-point Divers away, but the Divers are already coming back in, and this time the tent was able to paint the zone just a little bit, not enough though. It's not yet there. Akira is forced to move away with that bunch as the Split Magnolia holds control over the zone.
Yeah, do a really good job at holding control there. We're going to see a Booyah Bomb come out. The brush tried to flank around there, but gets caught out immediately. We are going to see an attempt to take on the Jet, and it will be successful. It is now still a 2v3 situation. The S-Blast will take down one, looking for another. Will they get it in time? No. The heavy edit dodges on out, jumps on out, and has the cooler right on zone to cause a little bit more of faster plays. They're just fighting to hold on in this bubble. Can they hold on? Here comes the hammer to help with the zone, but gets cancelled out. Oh my goodness.
What control by Split Magnolia right now. That Jingjet is the last stand, but no, it's not gonna work. Quick KO for Split Magnolia, and suddenly 3-point Divers, who chose the map, pay the price and are now down 1-0.
Yeah, bested at their own game, and that's not what you want to see if you're 3-point Divers. You know, you had maybe a plan going into this, but every angle you tried to attack from was met with a greater response. I mean, just looking at some of these replays here, I really love the fact that Dooley was able to get that pick on the Jet. Not something you see every day. A Dooley's canceling out an Ink Jet. But yeah, I mean, again, a great attempt there. The brush trying to come in again from that off angle, but getting annihilated. I didn't even realize that Tent died to their own Tent shield by getting a blast, a bomb thrown at them. So, I mean, wow. Every tactic foiled by Split Magnolia as they're rocking on over now to their next game. And this runs game point for Split Magnolia. Tower control on Museum.
Yeah. I feel like 3-point Divers were able to fight okay, but they were just a tiny bit too staggered and going into the fight one by one, where Split Magnolia were taking 3v1s after 3v1s and winning those, because 3 players versus 1 is much easier even if there's a tent. 3-point Divers need to coordinate a bit better, especially going into tower control. You need to have your coordination if you want to push that tower.
Absolutely. You kind of want to form that little bit of like a force field with your players around that tower, especially moving forward. Especially on this map where that first checkpoint point is a little bit low to that ground. The second one goes up towards that block, towards the plat. So you want to make sure you're clearing all of that space as it moves forward at its set pace. And the Tower Rider ideally will be able to watch for any flanks on this map, because that's something that we probably will see frequently, especially if we see that brush stay on the field from 3-point divers, taking huge advantage of those flank opportunities, come from mid while that tower is being pushed, and have an opportunity for any pinching to be had, maybe get some players down.
Yeah, as you say, creating some diversion to the side would help 3-point divers, as Split Magnolia right now are up 1-0, only need one more game, and they've shown that they come in strong. So we'll see if they are able to win this one.
Absolutely. Do they take the win here for Split Magnolia and lead on to losers finals, or does 3-point divers take a game, causing a game 3? Looking at these comps, nothing too different. If it ain't broken, don't go fixing it. Right away, interesting decision. 3 players dropped down on that right side for 3-point divers, immediately opening up that space to the right. Do they see the flank from behind? They barely catch it and survive, and they will take them down. 3-point divers on a great roll the first couple seconds of the game.
Yeah, and it's their turn to get the momentum, to get forward. It's working too. They get in, but they lost 2 players. Hyper activating the jetpack to maintain some presence while Jaeger has the vacuum. They fell off the tower though, so they won't pass that checkpoint yet. But oh wait, it's not over. Cactus, Jaeger's back on the tower, and with a Booyah Bomb, that's going to be a checkpoint.
Yeah, Pat, I mean, talk about great use of special coordination there. Using the Inkjet with the VAC to stop any players pushing that tower. And so far, it's been a lot of great teamwork that we're seeing that we didn't see last game from them. I mean, it seems every moment they are able to, they're getting picks on Split Magnolia and keeping this tower going, just as I'm saying it's happening here. This is going to be the last checkpoint falling as well. They just got to ride this tower forward, but it barely gets stopped by the heavy edit, who rocks out a triple. And that tower is finally safe, as it's just the brush in the enemy spawn, just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance.
Yeah. But here comes back the 3-point divers. Jaeger with that tent is already back into position, and 3-point divers, they still maintain the pressure as Split Magnolia are trying to get out of their platform. Can they though? Oh, that bubbler comes in a bit too late, and the divers are back on the attack.
Back on the attack. Here's that Inkjet looking to see if they're going to pick on these dualies that that dropped on down. Nothing on the splashdown either from the blaster. So now it's just going to be a couple picks going on down for 3-point diver. Split Magnolia using this opportunity to try to go forward. But there's the VAC to stall it out. It's only the tent alive, though. They're going to get pinched around. Do they make it on time? Surprisingly, yes. They survive. And now Split Magnolia, for the first time in the first 3 minutes of the game, has control back of mid.
Yeah, Magnolia able to maintain their presence. Now they need to push with a very nice bomb right there. That's a good start as they try to take the control, but that control is short-lived. 2 down, 3 down. But Junior needs to jump away. Nice defense by the 3-point divers. We're halfway through the game, and the 3-point divers have a huge lead right now, Cactus.
Oh, absolutely, and it's still going forward too. They're not being relentless, really. They're not allowing for Magnolia to really get in at any angle here and try to push past mid, which is working out really well in their favor. You're going to see a lot of tower defense here right now, putting a lot of pressure to hold them back, but 3-point divers not making it easy to get past their plat, as you have the ball point securing this midair really well with a nice splashdown cancel.
Yeah, it's a nice one. The power of a good ballpoint that can really hold that center of the map, but a bomb is going to end. But ballpoint's life right now. Both teams are still fighting, and with 2 down, 3 down onto 3-point divers. Split Magnolia gets another push now. They need to create momentum. They need to get in and keep someone on the tower.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the use of that bubble there so far, right? Applying that pressure. They got the flank out of the way, which was the brush, which is what I was mentioning before. They are able to take them on out. They still do have a crab ready, and they're going to use that to push back the ball point. Right now, Tower's going to be kind of at a little stall section right here. You're going to see Magnolia trying to go on forward. We do see one go down. They're looking at this brush by having to try to stay alive as they're really close to a bubble. Cooler's out to have things going forward here. The Inkjet's coming on out to try to cause some damage. Playing very careful on this tower as they only have a minute left in the game.
Yep. And here goes Split Magnolia past that checkpoint. They only need one more checkpoint. Everybody's on the tower as 3-point divers know they need to defend now. Just a few more ticks onto a zone. It's a wipeout! And Split Magnolia with the comeback are getting to the KO.
Unbelievable play. They were able to cause such an intense stagger onto 3-point divers who looked like that entire game had it under lock and key. But no, Split Magnolia found their way around and they secured not just a lead swap, but a full KO as we neared the last couple seconds of that game. Wow, incredible plays.
Yeah, I mean, 3-point divers played so well most of that game, but in the end, they kind of panicked in that final attack by Magnolia, which paid off, which allowed them to get the 2-0 in a dominant fashion in the end. That wipeout, as they were pushing that tower, really sealed the deal and allowed them to pull through Cactus.
Yeah, absolutely. They really got a lot of those key picks that they were aiming for, and they were able to really just steamroll with that. Really huge props to that junior there, too, who really knew to keep themselves alive, to have those bubbles ready to move forward. That secured the first check for them, it secured the second, and from there forward onward, I mean, it was just being able to have the rest of the players staggered, and it's exactly what they did, securing that wipeout like you mentioned before, Pat, and a victory there. So they are now moving on to Losers Finals. Well, they'll be going against No Name Team.
Yep, we'll take a short break and we'll watch it together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more paddling pool action. We're bringing you here to Losers Finals. My name is Cactus, joined by Pat on the commentary stand, and we're going to be seeing Split Magnolia versus
Whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever I'm looking at. I see like 5 different images collapsed in one here.
Yeah. I mean, Hatsune Miku is here, so we're happy.
Yeah, that's true. As long as we got Miku, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, so far we've been seeing an incredible losers run by Split Magnolia. They just won previously on stream here against 3 Point Divers in a 2-0 fashion with an amazing comeback. And now fighting off No Name here in losers finals. I'm curious to see the kind of challenges they're going to face here, considering I feel like this the Seed 1 team is going to have a lot more aggression that they're going to bring to the table. So I'm wondering how Split Magnolia is going to be able to counter a lot of that with maybe not their comp, but playstyle.
Cactus, we have a small hint of what could happen, because these two teams met. Whatever that name is, beat Split Magnolia and put them on the loser side. But it was 2-1 in round 2 of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
So there's some fighting spirit still in Magnolia. They know they can take games off of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going right into that, I mean, you're gonna be feeling pretty good knowing you can, at least cause some trouble right away. I do like the opening gambit on the shot player for Happy Birthday, Kyon. I love that for the name. And right away, it's going to be an instant fight for mid, less so of the pop, as the pop's not really going off. Just a lot of players choosing to go for that split pick action. Right away, players trading left and right, Pat.
Yeah, and we see a bell defense by Happy Birthday Kyon, who's now moving back, trying to get some more control on with 2 down onto Magnolia. They're going to grab the Rainmaker and push forward. As Golden is still behind, but forced to jump away. The fight is not over. Very nice defense by Virginia right now. They're buying time for the rest of the team to get back in position. Every special is flying it 3 down. And Happy Birthday are going to get to that checkpoint.
At least they're trying to, but there's a lot of just bomb pressure and special pressure being forced on, and you're going to see the Rainmaker have to back on out. I can imagine they're running out of time here, so they have to find a keen opportunity to go on forward, and this might be it. It's just the edit. They do squeeze out through that check, but go on down with the pop and the pressure still being applied by Happy Birthday, making sure that they are not letting up any space.
Yeah, they're still pushing in with the Rainmaker is going to get splatted, but it's not over. As long as there's Stamper next to the Rainmaker shield, you know that pop could be very fast.
Absolutely, we do. Oh no! Down goes the Junior to the Stamper. Great combo by them. It's gonna be 2 players down now for Magnolia. Happy Birthday trying to push on forward even more. They're gonna be pinging this forward down to 19 before finally getting it stopped. 2 players now fall for Happy Birthday. Splash them to try to cause a little bit more mayhem here. Maybe push some players away. And Rainmaker will finally be quickly tossed over to the right side to be reset back to mid.
Yep, and 2 players down onto Split Magnolia. That push back to mid is rougher than it needs to be, but at least they dropped the Rainmaker, and right now it's 2 down on Happy Birthday Kyon. They are going in. It's 2 down on each side. The Rainmaker is stopped. Both teams are going to regroup, I guess, wait for the rest of their teammates to prepare the next push.
Absolutely, you are going to see a Goldup right now backing on out, which is a really smart play. They do have Crab ready, so they don't want to stay alive. Ooh, they do get a nice catch on one player rushing them forward. Do pop the Crab, but Liam's really being aggressive on the Crab, and they squish them with the Crab, and that's a wipeout. This is now Magnolia's time to rush forward to this checkpoint, try to stop this S-Blast from just diving on forward and trying to get these picks as the bubbles pop. But wow! Now reverse wipeout!
They had the momentum, they had a bubbler on the checkpoint, and it was not enough. Happy Birthday Kyon, just able to respawn and get in there to punish everything, and they're back on the attack. They're back going in right there, but it's not over yet. It's not over as the Split Magnolia still fighting for mid.
Yeah, happy birthday, Keon, as they can get really, really hard here to try to get on past mid, as you're going to see the Zipcaster get one, and unfortunately have to reset there. But there's the Junior getting two now, which is huge picks through that bubble, so now they're able to try to take a little bit of space and try to get this pop for a little bit more pain on the ground.
Yeah, it is not stopping. Happy birthday, Kion, defending as much as they want, as much as they can. They know all they need is a few trades right there, but Lenai going in with a splashdown, chasing for a second splat, gets punished for it. It's not over. 1 minute left in this game, Cactus, and we still have two teams just eyeing each other, waiting for a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that first lead that Happy Birthday Keon was able to get is very dominant, but hold on now. Here's the Dualies kind of just take control of this left side, scaring the pen away. They're close to a crab. They have to try to stay alive here. This might be checkpoint clear, but they do see that pen on the top. They might get picked up here for the stamper. They're just trying to stay alive.
30 seconds left. They need that checkpoint. They need to grab it as fast as they can. Very nice punish onto Golden with the Julius right there. It's 2 down. Onto Magnolia, 3 down. They're still fighting, they're still struggling, but it looks like it's going to be a wipe out. And happy birthday, Kion is going to take game number 1.
What an incredible game there. With a burst start in the opening, securing a monstrous lead, and from there, it was just a long game of defense, which they did a really great job at doing. Slip Magnolia, though, was able to put some pressure and keep up with the pacing, which you like to see, which makes me only confident saying that the rest of these games will probably be just as close, as they're not going to be as much of a burst start finish like Rainmaker is.
Yeah, we very much had, I mean, a game that was very much back and forth, where both teams were able to win fights, to take control, but when it was time to push the Rainmaker, get to that checkpoint, get in, happy birthday, Kion had the extra power, the extra way to get in. Whether they were defending or pushing, they were able to get these points. And Split Magnolia, now they've shown us that they can get the fights. They need to turn these picks into points.
Absolutely, Pat, you're right. They need to be able to go off of these picks that they get, and pretty quickly too, because there are some times that you see Split Magnolia kind of have to slowly move forward with the momentum that they have, but if they're able to just act on it a little bit quicker, especially when you see that player advantage, the 2 to 3 player numbers that you have onto the no-name team, I mean, you're looking at a key opportunity to get as far as you can, especially on a mode like tower control and ship shape, where a lot of points here can go a long way, as you have a lot of great angles that your weapons and comp that they bring, like the blaster, like the crab splat special that they are bringing to the field, just gives ultimately a lot of great space, a lot of great utilities to use all around.
Yeah, lots of possibilities for these two teams, lot that could happen. Now we're going onto a map that was chosen by Split Magnolia. It's going to be Ship Shape Cargo Company for a good old game of tower control. Now, we had the mode where you can completely stop a push with a single splat. Now we're going onto the mode that snowballs the most, where you need a lot of energy to stop a push. So maybe this would allow Split Magnolia to really take some stin on and be able to score the good points, get past the checkpoint. Or maybe we'll see a mystery team go forward and take all that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, for the no-name, right, they looks like here they're actually switching out to a mini, so that's going to be a bubble popping on out, and we are going to see no change there coming out for Split Magnolia, so they're going to be rocking with what they feel works best. Right away, you are going to see a lot of pressure being applied by both sides. Liam getting the first pick immediately on to 1, looking for another. They get 2, can they get 3? Third is with the hammer. Oh my goodness.
Huge opening right there by Clownfish finding Nemo, who are still pushing in to get forward. They lost 2 players, but I feel like they're gonna get the checkpoint, unless can they get it? It's very close.
And that it
They-
is. They're trying
Oh,
to,
just
and that's
seconds.
gonna be a wipeout.
Oh! It's a wipeout, and they're going to get the checkpoint now with nobody left to defend. Huge moves right there by Clownfish. It looked like it was done. It looked like they were over and forced away, but no, they got back and they're back in.
Yep, back in indeed. We are going to see just all this pressure being applied. This is such a long stagger that Clownfish is putting onto Magnolia. And with no
Whoa.
more checkpoints to clear, we're right into victory. And the tower takes a little bit of more energy that it still had from the player riding on it. Wow, what a very fast game. You blink, you missed it. That is now 2-0 for Clownfish.
I mean, we had a game one that was close, that was hard fought, with one team pulling through when it was time to push, when it was time to hold the Rainmaker. This one, just Clownfish decided, oh, well, we found Nemo. Nemo's in your spawn. We're gonna go there with the tower. And there's nothing you can do to stop us. Huge move right there.
Yeah, I mean, just from the second they got to that checkpoint area, it was just a constant barrage of just picks going off consistently. Even when we saw the Stanford jump into that tower, I mean, the first thing they did when they landed was get a pick on a player, and that's just something that Weapon's just able to do better than most. So for Split Magnolia, things are looking a little grim, but I still feel there may be hope for them to try to change things around, as the next map mode combo we're going to be going to is Robo Ramen with Splat Zones.
That's 2-0. That is match point for our mystery team, Split Magnolia. They fought hard to get here. They did incredible throughout their losers run. That was pretty long. But now they're facing a different kind of team, the kind of team that doesn't stop but here to win it all. That's our seed number 1 of the tournament, reminder. And they want to get their revenge against the team that put them here. So now going on to Robo Roman, that zones, that's going to be rough. Split Magnolia really needs the tools to push in.
Absolutely. As long as they're able to take control of any staggered state they get into, as the Mr. Team's going to just be constantly pushing forward, especially towards those elbows, and making sure they're pretty much locking them out. As long as they're able to find those answers pretty quickly, I think they have a fighting chance here.
Yep. And, oh, well, it looks like Split Magnolia are switching a bit their comp. I see a T-Tech coming from Lenai, as they're matching the pencil as well. So we'll see how these adjustments work for Split Magnolia. It's not working yet, as the National Geographic are taking control over the zone, Cactus.
Oh my goodness, taking control that they are. Oh, but a quick little flip on the zone will help them stall it just a little bit longer. So Magnolia did go a lot of players down right away, but so far they're doing a pretty good job at trying to stay alive here, making sure that they're watching out for all of these weapons coming forward. We do see the Junior pop that bubble, buys them a little bit of time, and a crab inside of it will be really good to push those players back, but a hammer will try to get rid of that. Strikes will try to stall it on out. 2-player disadvantage for Split Magnolia. National Geographic takes control once again of that zone.
Yeah, National Geographic are holding, more splats are coming, and now there's very complete control over the whole map for National Geographic. Cactus, they're not stopping. They want that quick KO, and they're doing everything they need to do to get it.
Oh, that they are, Pat. I mean, just look at this. Splash Shot there right in front to try to get a
Ooh.
pick, but 2 players might go down. Hold on a second. Can the T-Tech live
Ooh.
here against the Stamper? They actually get the pick, and that's going to be a cap of the zone. Hold on now. They have to try to ride this momentum. Split Magnolia, take as much control as you can, as you're going to be looking at a treacherous water thief if you're holding back on that zone.
Yeah, more incoming right there, Split Magnolia. Able to apply penalty, but not able to hold control over the zone yet, as all of National Geographic are back on the attack, pushing in now with more activated cans. Oh yeah, Magnolia can repaint the zone and keep the game going.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's just stalling it out as long as they can to try to build up more points. Oh, this could be National Geographic just applying a lot of that front pressure there. But Split Magnolia just having a nice answer to slowly push those players back, take control a little bit slowly there, and find the resources to get back in. But not only that, they also need to be able to hold on to enough of them that they're able to push on further past that control.
And right now, it's huge right there. I think it was Liam got that double, and that's 2 down on Split Magnolia again. There isn't much penalty left. Cactus, as the National Geographic are looking to get into Grand. They only need to hold that zone, but Split Magnolia is still here, still applying penalty, and with 3 down this time, Split Magnolia could maybe get back in the game, hold the zone a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're out of their penalty points now, so they're doing a great job at that. And now you see the T-Tech here just applying that pressure on the bottom right. They do have strikes ready to hold them back if they need to, which they might have to pop up soon, as National Geographic has those specials to come on in. Ooh. Down will go the Blaster, trading off with the Dually. Strikes to try to push him away. Here comes the paint, though. Are they able to hold it on their own? The pencil just puts so much paint output, but they will hold on just a little bit longer. As the Splash Zone, though, comes on down and caps that zone very quickly.
Yeah, very nice cap of the zone by the National Geographic. We have a minute and a half left in this game. Split Magnolia is trying to get back in, is trying to paint the zone, but it's not working yet. They lose a few too many players as the Geographic are holding strong, getting more and more, punishing the Crab with the Blaster. That's so many players down. That's a wipeout. And that's a game. And I think it's set for a National Geographic, who are going to Grand Finals.
There's the win that they were looking for. Split Magnolia only able to try to slow down the inevitable. National Geographic with a swift 3-0 victory. They're going to get their rematch into the Grand Finals against Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back with that said Grand Finals. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the grand finals of this Battling Pool 318. I am Pat here with the Cactus himself to watch our two wonderful teams, scene number 2 and scene number 1, Phantom Liberty versus these guys.
These guys, indeed. I'm all in favor of whatever ridiculousness they're gonna bring for the teammates today by our lovely Spec Cam host, Joe Ryan. Yeah, so rematch here for both of these teams. Previously, Phantom Liberty was able to have a pretty dominant 3-0 win over No Name. So I'm curious to see now if this little bit of a downtime for them, a little bit of a pick-me-up for No Name will be able to cause a little bit of a change around for the matches we're going to see here today.
Yeah, I mean they need to change something. I hope they're gonna change something because Phantom Liberty are coming in strong, are coming in clutch, and don't want to let their shenanigans work. So we'll see how it goes. Starting with a good old game of Clam Blitz on Barnacle and Dime, Cactus.
Yes. Clements, Barnacle, and a Dime. The biggest thing I can say here, what I'm excited to see, is what it's going to come to holding those ramp areas, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. And once you get like their pen or edit pretty much positioned well, it's going to be very interesting to see the breakout methods they're going to have and the routes they're going to take. But one of those maps, though, where once those clams start going, if you're unable to break out of your spawn area, you could be in such severe trouble.
Yeah, and let's get right in the game. As yeah, our teams are not bringing much surprise. I see that the mini splatling is coming back for a stop sign. That mini splatling can move fast, rush in with the hammer, which could open the way to the basket, but not yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, not yet. Indeed, I am interested to see the counters are going to have here from Phantom Liberty with the 96 Deco with the Kraken. Unfortunately, though, as soon as I call it out, they go down. But they do have Cooler, so they'll be back in no time. Right now, 30 seconds in, no immediate scoring being had. Just a lot of picks going down in the center, trying to control mid here. And right now, it looks like it's going to be Phantom Liberty putting a little bit more pressure going on forward to take a little bit more space.
Yeah, Phantom Liberty is not stopping over their control. Both teams still trying to get a bit more now that Kraken is deployed. Is going to force the Zipcaster away. And very, very nice Zipcaster right there. As it looks like both teams are still fighting for mid, trading left and right as a Super Clam is still made by Bake for Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, even though a stop sign has a lot of paint control right now, we do see a lot of aggression being had from Phantom Liberty around that left side there. One will unfortunately go down, but they're back quick thanks to that quick Cooler being popped before. Well, a lot of space now being taken by a stop sign. You see they're just kind of moving in a wave here, just kind of taking control the sections one at a time. Hammerthrow will miss that player over there on the left-hand top, and it's going to be the pen player acknowledging a player back there. Look how fast, though, all these players have to back on out just to make sure not one of them goes down, as they know this is a team that they have to go in together on.
Yeah, and both teams very much respecting each other, taking their time to be sure that they have good control, as we still see the back and forth right there. Phantom Liberty able to take some ground, but here comes the answer by a stop sign who took 2 splats and are now pushing in. Oh, this could be a push for a stop sign. They have the clams, they have the specials, and they are under that basket now.
Yeah, there's that first score of the game going to a stop sign. They're going to try to sneak in another one, but no, all eyes onto that player. Another one goes down, trading left and right here on this last scoring. It's going to be Pow here, just kind of messing around here, getting a lot of paint out, seeing if they have to back up or not, but holding this ramp here is very keen on their success on forward. 2.5 minutes left on this game. Cool will be popped out for Phantom Liberty, trying to see how they're going to be able to break out of this hold.
Stop sign only scored 20 points. I think Phantom Liberty are fine with that right there, as they're trying to get in. The Kraken is going to force everything to regroup, move away with the Booyah Bomb. Will that be enough for Phantom Liberty to take control? Right now it looks like Liam is still dancing with that blaster, and both teams Back to mid. Oh, with 2 down onto Phantom Liberty. I guess Top Sign are still on the attack.
Well, that's
Ooh.
hard, but that cooler so unfortunately goes down. How long can the Blaster try to survive on their own? They end up with at least a trade, and right away, there's the 96 of the shot trying to back up again and pull that support, but no! They both go down at the same time, and looks like this might be another push opening for Stop Sign.
I think nobody got a drink right there. This is so rough for Phantom Liberty. 2 players down. Still, Stop Sign are holding and extending their lead now, making more and more points. Very, very nice scoring right there. They're not stopping, and with an extra tactical, they're gonna come in again and again. We're close to a KO now.
Yeah, this might be a second push, ends it all. A lot of great picks being had here. Phantom Liberty is just staggered out of their mind right now. 2 clamps to end it. Here comes the pen to score the last 2. A Stop Sign, breaking that win streak from Phantom Liberty, putting 1 point on the board for themselves here in Grands.
I mean, Stop Sign lost in winners finals. They're coming back stronger. They learned what to do. They really had the time to think about how to counter what Phantom Liberty was doing, and it shows. It really paid off right there. They took a commanding KO against Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, commanding indeed. I mean, it was a lot of just holding that mid area for the longest time from both sides, but really a Stop Sign found the formula they needed to be able to find the stagger on a Phantom Liberty. And it's, like you see here, after that first score, it was constantly making sure you were able to keep at least 1 player down at all times. A lot of players on Phantom Liberty tried to hope for the mechanical skill to just win those fights, but with all of Stop Sign just being able to support each other so close together in that enemy spawn area, I mean, it was just very hard for them to break out of that.
Yeah, very rough indeed. Very, very rough, but it's only game 1. Reminder, Phantom Liberty, we know how fast they can move, we know what they can do against this team. We also know that they got the winner's advantage, so even if they lose this set, we still have more games to go with a bracket reset. It's certainly not over. Now going onto Museum d'Alfonsino, it's going to be a different mode, it's going to be a different dynamic, Cactus.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is not like what we saw previously when I believe when they first fought the first time, right? I think there was a tower control on this map where things were just very one-sided. This is an opportunity to have, just like this last Clamblitz game, a very steamroll effect for the Rainmaker pushing on forward. Hopefully, we'll see Phantom Liberty, what they might try to bring in differently here, if it's going to be a comp change at all. I do know that the 96 user does flex to the vanilla 96 with VAC. Just curious to see if that will be the play here, or if they keep their comp and just hope they're able to try to team up on most of No Name and be able to pile a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, well, knowing Mickey, anything's possible, so you might have the wish, or it might be a completely different weapon. Just fair warning.
I'm all for it. I'd love to see the switch up here and the knowledge and skill level of the different weapons they just happen to play.
Yeah, well, same comp on the side of Quan Grindset, and Mickey is bringing back the 96 Deco, while their teammate is bringing a Wiper to match the hammer power. So now we have a hammer on both sides.
All right, I mean, the Wiper, I like the selection on it. A lot of pressure, a lot of pain output. Unfortunately, though, is the first player to go down in this game. And we're going to see a little bit of pressure slowly being applied here by Quan Grindset. Hammer coming on out by Pow here. Going to get one. No! Barely missing them out on that jump out. Hammer will be thrown, and no, gets hit by that sign. But unfortunately, it's the Rainmaker that's going to be able to stall that forward and get that checkpoint, and the pop follows suit. Quan Grindset doing a fantastic job at holding a lot of pressure to go on forward. They'll try to grab that Rainmaker just to stall it a little bit longer. Numbers advantage in their favor for Phantom Liberty.
And that's an early checkpoint. That's very, very nice opening by Quan Grindset. With Liam getting a bit more, pushing in with that blaster and punishing. Oh, Mickey still to the side is going to be punished indeed. And it looks like Quan Grindset are back on the attack, Cactus. They're going for that report.
Yeah, they're not wasting
Oh.
any time here. The Blaster gets one. Unfortunately, it's picked off by Liam, the opposing Blaster. Right now, just trying to cause some trouble in mid is the Viper. And getting actually one player down with that special ready to go down now. Hold on, Liam's just alone here to defend. They're going to try to get a pick on the Pencil, and they will. They will go down to that, but that was enough of a stall for now the rest of the players for Quan Grindset to come on in and hold that mid area.
Yeah, and it's going to be a rough one right there. Quan Grindset are defending their side as all the Phantom Liberty are trying to get some control, trying to push in, but it's not working for them right now. Here comes the hammer by Pooh, who is going in.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
3 down, and that's the Rainmaker being re-grabbed. There's no checkpoint this time. That's going to be a lot of points.
Oh my, points indeed. Just running that down on the uninked path with a smart play instead of wasting the time to just try to shoot a paint shot down. They will survive that Kraken area. Stamp will be used to pop that out and toss, but no picks to be had. Blaster goes down from making the back, but unfortunately, with you have to try to watch this Rainmaker, make sure no one's sharking around because they don't seem to know where at least all these players are yet.
Yeah, Rainmaker is going to be reset. We're halfway through the game. Quan Grindset has scored so many points. Phantom Liberty has yet to score any. They haven't managed to bring back Rainmaker anywhere. As now they grab it, they try to get in, but they don't get the checkpoint. Iron defense by Quan Grindset.
I can't help but feel that was a little bit of a cheeky play to try to rush it on forward. But hold on now. They have a massive player advantage. They just have to take control of this space quickly. That's exactly what they're doing. They do spot a player on that top there. Will they get this check in time? Just stalled around in mid. Pal gets one. They get two before getting taken away. That is 3 players down now, though. And that opening and potential that they had to get points on the board is now gone.
Huge defense right there by the Mini to keep the checkpoint from happening. And the checkpoint is not going to happen with 2 down. And Quan Grindset got back control of their plat. It's looking pretty dire for Phantom Liberty right now.
That it is. You know, the minute left in the game, they have a little bit of time that they could try to mess with here. It's a Viper versus Stamper. Looks like the Viper actually will win that out. Oh, but here is the cheeky positioning that they're going to choose to do some little bit early into the game. But, you know, any points here. Hold on. Player advantage. It's just the pen alive. They're just going to be eyeing it down, that Rainmaker, to try to hold it in that rough position.
That was a delayed wipe, but the Rainmaker is in such a bad spot. They're forced to wait for it. Nikki has to run away with that Kraken. Not run away, actually just get in. But right now, Phantom Liberty, they had such a strong advantage, but it vanished before they could grab the Rainmaker. Now, with 30 seconds left, they have 2 players down and no way in.
That's right, no way in indeed. They're going to be picking up this Rainmaker once again, putting it in that stall area and making it pretty hard for Phantom Liberty to try to take control of that back. Just the pen alive. Is anyone going to be able to rush that plat in time though? Yes! Oh, but no! They get picked off with a great play by the pen. They're going to grab this Rainmaker. They have a little bit of time left, and overtime is about to begin. Player advantage, but they have to take space of that plat. They want opportunity to try to push things forward. They still have a checkpoint to try to work with, but no, the pen. The pen once again, ending it there. That is now a 2-0 victory for Quan Grindset.
The power of a good sniper right there. I mean, we had Quan Grindset. They lost 3-0 in winners finals, and now they're looking to get their revenge. They're looking to show us what they're able to do, and they're doing what they need to do right now. Phantom Liberty is struggling so hard to get control.
Yeah, they don't really have an answer to a lot of the aggression that Quan Granted's applying to them, especially these past 2 games. It seems like they're just kind of getting caught off on the off foot. Now, like you mentioned before, Pat, they do have a lot of opportunities too, right? There's still the bracket reset potential. Use what they're learning so far these first 2 games, potentially the next one as well, if it were to go towards Quan Granted's favor, and see if they're able to try to pick up a little bit more momentum.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Phantom Liberty, they're coming from winner's side. They know if they lose this next game, we're back to 0-0, but you don't want to get a bracket reset with a 3-0. That's a horrible way to start a set. you want to reset that momentum before the set starts. Now, going on to zones, going on to Robo-Roman, very much a classic, well-known quantity. This could allow the Phantom Liberty to really reset their mindset, get back in the game.
Yep, Zones on Robo Ramen is this match point game that we're going to be going into against these 2 teams. Phantom Liberty got to try to find this momentum here. I believe the last time we saw them on the stream, they actually used the VAC 96 when it came to a Zones game. So I'm curious if that's going to be the same potential they'll use it here, or if they're just going to stick with what's been working so far, for the most part anyway, with Melee only changing out one of the front to midline weapons. But of course, for No Name, I mean, they don't have anything they want to change. They're feeling really good about the comp they got, and so far, it's working amazingly.
Yep, it is time to go. This could be a bracket reset for our No Name team, the commentators. That's us. We're playing. Let's go. Let's go, Cactus. Let's do it.
We got this. Us on the stand, we're giving it our all to try to go on forward. Liam right away getting one and getting punished for getting a second. Oh no, Phantom Liberty immediately in trouble, as we're going to see the commentators now taking so much space forward.
Yeah, and holding that zone a bit more. Phantom Liberty struck to the side, not able to maintain their presence there. There's nobody to paint the zone. The Zipcaster not gonna find much, but everybody's falling down right now. The Pencil are going to fight to paint the zone. With the Crab, it looks like Phantom Liberty are going to apply penalty, take some control, and push forward.
Yep, here's the momentum they were finally looking for. The VAC here is actually... yes, they did switch to the VAC 96. Okay. But unfortunately right now, is it going to be good use to try to get out this pen? No, it'll be launched backwards to find a player trying to flank around. Fortunately, though, that's going to put them in a player disadvantage. Will the Duelists be able to find a pick on one? But no, Liam finds a jump and gets one. Going after the pen, gets another, and that's going to cause a reset. Not before no one paints the zone, and Phantom Liberty actually gets the lead.
The lead by 1 point. One single point. The commentators are back on control of the zone. They're shredding that penalty, Cactus. As they're shredding that Crab. No, they're not getting that Crab away completely. Very nice moves right there. Phantom Liberty are still maintaining their presence, and they have a tactical and a vacuum at the ready. That vacuum is coming in. That's going to be a good push by Phantom, who got the zone almost. Almost.
The sprinkler's doing work. That sprinkler is doing work.
The clutch sprinkler.
Unbelievable. That entire cap stopped completely due to a sprinkler just putting so much paint on the zone to help on out. And it's still hard to do. This is, wow, immediately 10 seconds later, we're back to all of our specials online once again. And finally, there's the cap they've been looking for. And a little bit of a player advantage too. They just gotta watch out for Poe though, as they are gonna jump on out and reset, as they do have the hammer ready. Resetting once again, as they didn't mean to drop on down there. But once they had that advantage state, Phantom Liberty lost it.
And right now, commentators, I lost my stream.
You and me both.
I think Jorian has issue.
Oh, the game got a comment. Oh, you had Surge.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're here? Alright.
Are any of them streaming? I gotta check.
So, Twitch chat is still on. Are we audible right now?
Okay.
All right.
So we will be able to find a stream to watch to see how the rest of the game's gonna turn out.
Yeah, we.
I love that Joran already had this set right out. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a wipeout though. On to I believe that is Phantom Liberty. So now they are on this struggling back foot right now.
Yeah, we're watching the perspective of Bake from Phantom Liberty, who's now sniping as much as they can, pushing back onto the zone, getting back the control. We have 1 minute left in the game, and that's a few too many players down. There isn't that much penalty left on to Mystery Name right there. That's going to be 10 ticks left to get back in there. Can they paint Cactus?
I don't know. They don't have paint to put it in time as their players have went down, and that means that is a 3-0 victory. So they are going to have No Name sending this to a bracket reset. Phantom Liberty now is got to try to find some kind of answer to what No Name is bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean, technically we're tied right there between these two teams, Cactus. Both teams got their 3-0. But I feel like the later 3-0 has more weight, you know? Like, right now, Mystery Name, they're hot. They're coming in incredibly strong, and they're not stopping.
Yeah. Yeah, they are riding that momentum the whole way through. They had a little bit more time so they could warm up things there from that loser's bracket going on forward. Now they are 1 set away from being your paddling pool champions unless Phantom Liberty can find the answers that they need, and they're able to turn this back around.
Yeah, it's pretty... we're waiting to join the team, to join the room. I think you want the password from the before the bracket reset.
Oh no.
Let me find it for you. Oh well, I won't say it on stream. Oh yeah, the password no longer displayed.
Just message the teams, easy.
Okay. We're trying to rejoin. Alright. They gave it to us. Let's go. Win. Alright, we're back in there. Or did they start the first game?
I believe they might have started the first game on us.
Well, we're gonna watch Bake's point of view then. Alright, Bake on the pencil for... Okay. This is the first time that happens. For Phantom Liberty is Bake now trying to establish some momentum. We're watching Hagglefish tower control. It's already 2 down onto Phantom. Make that 3 down. Bake is forced out by Mystery Name. Huge opening by them. They want to ride that momentum, Cactus.
That they do. I mean, right away, look at this. That first checkpoint is about to go down in seconds as a lot of pressure is constantly being applied. What a nice pick there, though, by Bake, being able to get down the Stamper Zip. A lot of players now just falling down for Phantom Liberty's side. They're going to be using this as an opportunity to push on forward. And this is going to hopefully lead the momentum they need. What a nice cooler launch on out. Stamp will try to have an answer, and then we'll get traded out with the pen.
Yeah, it's That was a very nice first push in the first minute of the game, already getting a checkpoint, and they're attacking again. They're pushing in again. We see all of Phantom Liberty in defensive mode, trying to hold, trying to delay a little bit as they are trying to stop things. And we have Raiki's point of view on the other side as well.
Love it. We got both teams, at least one POV on both sides. This is great. Yeah, I mean, likely you're mentioning, Pat. I mean, this is just a constant no-name sweep right now for this game. We're seeing already 2.5 minutes into this match, and it's really difficult for Phantom Liberty to find any footing here to push on forward. They get some nice picks, but they're trades, and they're not winnable picks that they're able to move off with momentum. So right now, they're really struggling to try to find any opportunity to stop this tower from getting towards its last check.
Ooh, yeah, we are near the last checkpoint. Raiki still dancing around with that Stamper, keeping the tower here for the rest of the team. This is... Oh! Huge Zipcaster right here, chasing the pencil, chasing for more splat, but with 2 down on to Mystery Team. I feel like this could be a back kick, getting back on the tower, and the Mystery able to survive that first push, but we're halfway through the game, and there's only 1 checkpoint left to break.
Yep, that's right. 1 checkpoint for them, 3 to clear for Phantom Liberty. Right now, we're going to see a lot of pressure being applied here. Unfortunately, it's going to be 3 players down for Phantom Liberty, so no real opportunity to even get close to that first checkpoint. There's only 6 points for them on the board. The Pens having to try to stay alive here as a Stamper. It's just fully aggressive forward. It's just really making it hard for them to get off of their plat.
Yeah, we have these 2 teams very much waiting for a mistake, trying to find the way in, but we know that Phantom Liberty needs to push forward right now, needs to find the way, but they lose their pencil right after they activated Cooler, and it's going to be pretty rough for them. They lose way too many players. It's another push for Mystery Team.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing really strongly with Mystery Team is that even when they get close to wiped out, you have at least 1 player constantly just always aggressive forward, even if it means they at least end up with a trade, because they're just so mechanically gifted that they're able to hold on forward, and that's what you're seeing hard here.
Yeah, they hold, they do so well right there. And 2 down though on to Mystery Team. It looks like Phantom Liberty are going to take back some control, get the tower back into me. Now they need to push, but doesn't look... Okay, no, they're not pushing.
Yeah, no push really to be had. We're going to see a lot of just camping out here from Mystery Name. They're holding on strong. Just the pen on that top right to try to hold things out. But the hammer hops on there to try to apply more pressure. It's going to be thrown, not getting any pick. Here's the zip to follow it suit. Down goes the pen. Another down to them as well. Only the junior left up trying to defend. That's a wipeout.
That's a wipeout for Raiki and the Mystery Team right there, who are getting through that last checkpoint and getting the KO. Now we're going to be back to watching the games normally, Cactus.
Yes, no more player POV. We should have this opportunity to just watch it from the above spec and swap different player POVs as it was meant to be viewed.
Yeah. We're back in there, and yeah, I mean, very much a close. I mean, I'm saying close. No, Mystery Team very much took control of that game. Didn't let Phantom Liberty get points, and Phantom Liberty, again, it's the kind of difference where one team is able to win the fight but not able to push with the advantage that they got. Phantom Liberty, as you said, they managed to splat 3 players, but the last one was in the right spot to keep them from pushing, to keep them from turning that advantage into points at any second, and very, very great control by Blank Name.
Yeah, they really played with no fear, and that's what's really showing there. They didn't have to wait for the rest of their teammates to try to come on back in and help them push in together. They just were able to just kind of solo their way forward, getting at least one pick if they're able to, especially because most of those weapons that they were going in for those fights have the range to do so. Like you saw the Stamper do that a lot. So it was a really good play on their part to constantly keep that kind of rotating while the rest of the players on their team jumped on in. Phantom Liberty kind of taking more of the passive approach, right? They didn't really take as much space as they should, as you saw No Name do, and I think that's what really hindered them from getting really any points on the board.
Yep. Phantom Liberty are afraid right now, and they need to move forward. They need to get in. They need to go fast, going on to Barnacle zones, and with a full win streak for No Name.
Yeah, 4 games in for them right now, each one a win. We are going to see a 52 coming out in the Rapid Blaster Deco up here on out as well. So that's quite the switch up for Phantom Liberty, but will it be the switch up they need to try to secure at least one game win here?
Yeah, that Rapid Deco is such a menace in the hands of Mickey right there. Now that's already a pretty strong opening by the Dapple Lovers. Love that name. As they're taking control not just of the zone, they're taking control of the map, trying to put themselves right there on the snipe, but they get punished for it. Huge answer by Phantom Liberty, who are going to get themselves on top of the zone. Now it's their turn to try to take control.
Yep, finally, you're going to, for once, we're actually seeing a little bit more of aggression from Phantom Liberty, being able to take that space right away. A nice collapse there on the Stamper, so no zip will be had there going forward. Cooler's about to be ready here for Dapple Lovers. The Stamp's going to be tossed on out to try to get a pick. It will switch up with the 52 as the Mini goes down, and Penn barely will survive that Booyah Bomb. So far, points counting down in Phantom Liberty's favor as they're getting the trades that were happening onto them, but this time in that positive side that they needed.
And we see the Dapple Lovers back onto the zone, trying to paint. And that's a penalty applied, but 2 players down onto Dapple Lovers. It's a wipeout. They applied penalty, but that's all they did. Phantom Liberty is back in control. Now they have a huge penalty to get rid of, but Cactus, this is Phantom Liberty really finding how to play the game again.
Yeah, I mean, this is really what they've been waiting for, is having this opportunity to just hold on as much as they could. The Blaster just barely surviving that there. Here comes the Stamp, just looking for a toss to get a pick, and they will get down the S-Blast. Look how much pain output that Power is putting down just to try to apply some cap. It's a penalty, and that they will. Just so much intense, quick movement here to paint and also just stay alive. But we're going to see a quick bounce back from Phantom Liberty to try to hold more pressure as the Whale comes out to shoo the rest of these players away. Down will go another in their side, though, and Dapple Lovers take control, getting a pick with that splashdown.
Yeah, very nice splashdown by Liam right there, which means Dapple Lovers keep the zone. No penalty was applied, and right now they have the hammer to defend. They have the Tacticular to stay on top. Very nice move, and a pick on the pencil. That's going to make the next push by Phantom Liberty so much riskier, but the risks are being taken right there by the S-Blast as they are going on to the zone, painting it, applying penalty. They lost the lead, Cactus, but they didn't lose the game yet.
Yeah, a loss lead is not too bad for Phantom Liberty, especially when you get 2 players down as they do here, applying as much pressure as they can onto that pen to really back them up. That will be all those frontline players down on a Dapple Lovers, and Phantom Liberty now using the opportunity to take a lot of space back, especially now that they have that Cooler ready. Jumps will come on in for the rest of those players just to hold that space and to hold this ramp area. As now the points are counting down, no one goes down to that hammer. They just gotta keep the paint up if they want a chance at holding this for the lead back. They get 2 players down, penalty points are over. Whale comes out to find a couple others. Down goes the Blaster, and this is gonna be the lead swap.
Huge lead swap by Phantom Liberty, who are holding their control right there with 3 down. Phantom Liberty get the game, break the winning streak, and we now have a 1-1 in this bracket reset.
Wow, that was the comp change they were looking for. Added all different types of pressure, so they're able to get right back in, which was a fantastic play. What a smart choice. Wow, bracket reset is what it took for them to get 1 point on the board. Potential opportunity to maybe lead to more than just that.
Huge moves right there by the Phantom Liberty. Able to finally punish the Tapo lovers, able to finally take control over the zone, over the game. And now, I mean, there's only 3 games left in this tournament, tops. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we don't have much time left. Everything is going to matter from now on. Going on to the next game, which is going to be back to Clan Blitz, this time on Umami Runes.
All right, Clan Blitz for Umami. A lot of pressure here and a lot of snowball factors to be had with the way these clam spawns roll on in. Phantom Liberty, I feel like they shouldn't change their comp here, and I hope they don't, unless it's something that helps them with some kind of different pressure that they had, because their comp right now, it just allows them to be so aggressive. It allows them to really just push in by themselves, especially with that 52. I mean, they're able to hold quick spots and have quick responses. And I'm excited to see what they're going to bring out.
Yeah, Phantom Liberty getting to the weapons that work for them. Now again, it's on No Name to adapt. It's on No Name to adapt again, because Phantom Liberty, they switched up the formula. They changed things up. Going into Clan Blitz, speed is going to be of the utmost importance. Control of the whole map will decide everything. And we'll see how these 2 teams do.
Yeah, speed's the name of the game, especially the Clam Academy to be had. As long as these players are able to at least designate one player to collecting those, they will be fine moving forward. Without further ado, here we go. Score in this bracket reset tied 1-1. The comps are rolling on out. No real change out of No Name. For Phantom, they are going to keep the same comp as well. So the change up will stick and hopefully have a much better outcome. Or maybe not.
I think the wrong mode was selected, Cactus.
Okay.
Selected zones instead of Clan Blitz.
Oh, lovely. Too excited for more zones games.
Yeah. It's fine. There. But yep, we're back in select. This is our state of mind at the end of a paddling pool. This is the brain, or Dorian's brain right there. You have a cam inside of Dorian's brain. This is what it looks like.
This is the vibes we get inside of it. But finally, correct mode chosen is what I'm hoping. Yes, Clan Blitz finally selected, and we're moving on forward with this match.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yeah, and we see Phantom Liberty bringing the comp that benefited them on zones, that double blaster, 1 gal to have the maximum fighting that they can have. Twitch chat on the other hand, holding to their guns right there, wanting to make it work.
Yeah, what a great pick from Phantom Liberty there. Unfortunately, 2 members will go down to Twitch chat. Thankfully, there was cooler up, so they are going to be able to be back fast. And a lot of quick answers. Look how aggressive that Pen was trying to be there on the blaster, but gets picked off. Oh no, this is the Clam Academy they have here, and we're going to see things moving forward as this is basket to be broken open.
Yeah. That's getting open. There are more clams to be thrown, but the defense by Phantom Liberty is able to get back control just in time. 74, it's not that much. 26 points is a very small push for Twitch chat. Now Phantom Liberty are getting back some control, able to get 1 splat to get onto mid and get some clams. But Twitch chat already has a lot of clams ready, Cactus.
Yeah, they do, and right away you're going to see that nice pick there by Oroi, and they're going to be able to get the Booyah going forward, but unfortunately it's immediately canceled out by the other blaster, so really no momentum to be had here as Twitch Chat's doing a great job at holding a strong defensive line, making it really hard for Phantom Liberty to get on in.
Yeah, Twitch Chat not stopping right there. And maintaining so much control, especially over the clams. Everybody else, the team, is carrying some clams, is preparing to push in, and they're already back on there with a Tacticooler. That's going to be another opening of the basket. TwitchChat really fast right here.
Yeah, a lot of clips being followed up. Oh no, the power clip jump in is going to lead for a larger lead. 32 points remain for them there. Pen will go down. Down goes the mini. Another jump in is the Blaster. Do they see them as they score one clam? They do, but unfortunately it's going to get traded out. Blaster again on that side on the ramp will get picked off by the S-Blast. And finally, Phantom Liberty now picking up some momentum. That 52 immediately taking space, which is exactly what you like to see here.
Yeah. Cactus, I believe these two teams played this map mode in winners finals, and Phantom Liberty got a KO. Right now, TwitchChat is looking to answer that in strength, but Phantom Liberty is opening the basket and trying to push in, but they lose a bit too much space right there, and they are pushed away by that hammer. Ooh.
Wow, Pow Hammer is something you don't want to mess around with. Incredible take there, and a lot of just paint being constantly thrown out here. Phantom Liberty's got to find a way to break back into this midsection here as it's just being countered. As another pick goes and falls on down to the Stamper, we might see another opportunity for another score from TwitchChat here.
Yeah, it comes. More action from TwitchChat. The hammer is only going to find one this time, and Phantom Liberty are defending pretty well, pushing TwitchChat away back into spawn. That's a delayed wipe for them right now. Cactus, can Phantom Liberty turn that into points? They're able to open the basket. They have more clams, but they're already struggling to get back there.
Yeah, they don't really have that momentum to move forward. Thankfully, you are see the 52 here being able to apply pressure with the whale. Unfortunately, that's going to just be a drastic measure. Oh, the power clam though gets canceled out, and that's going to be no pity clam to their name. So they either have to rely on TwitchChat scoring, but it's not enough to get a win, or they have to build one with their clams. But I mean, look at the clam economy from TwitchChat. I mean, that is 2 power clams and potentially could build to a third.
We have 1 minute left in the game. The economy, though, is getting attacked. There's lots of splats left and right. TwitchChat holding to their power clams, though, able to really maintain their presence here as Phantom Liberty are not able to push in again.
No, with only 30 seconds that remain here, we're going to see still just that same aggression from TwitchChat, holding these angles, holding these sides. At least you do have Phantom Liberty that was able to make that power clam, so they're able to move on forward. They will actually sneak on through and score the power clam and a couple more clams to be scored too, and it's a 2v1 situation. Power clam's going to be jumped on in. No, they were able to hit the last player, so no jump on in, but they're right back to where they were, holding mid very strong. And unfortunately, as more picks are falling through, I'm not sure Phantom Liberty is going to have what it takes to get all the way to the other side of the map.
Oh, and with the Zipcaster, I believe that's the end of that game. TwitchChat is going to take it 2-1 right now in that bracket reset. That's much point for TwitchChat.
1 game away from securing this paddling pool under their belts. But 2 more opportunities potentially for Phantom Liberty if they want an opportunity to push back in and tie it up the score and bring it to a full game 5. And you gotta imagine they're thinking, what could they have done better there? As there are some points they played very well, but ultimately it just came down to what I'm seeing, the speed of things, which is you see how fast TwitchChat was able to play that entire time. Certain points, Phantom Liberty tried to counteract it, but the picks just never stopped coming.
Yeah. And Phantom Liberty were able to get under the basket with the clams, but they were not able to take control of the basket. The second the basket was open, there were a few bombs under it, and all of Phantom Liberty was forced away, forced to regroup outside of it. And despite getting good pushes, they were not able to stay there. They were not able to maintain the basket open the way TwitchChat did, which means TwitchChat get that game, get that match point. Now going On to Scourge Gorge for Rainmaker.
Another map mode that could be a very back and forth. It's one of those maps that you could just think your lead is safe, but unless you're getting it to that knockout, no lead is really safe, as things could just snowball on forward and collapse onto that score. Both these teams are going to look to have one of those bursts to start openings, and I can say confidently, most likely No Name will have that opportunity to push on first if they get the right picks. As we saw before, they were able to have those chances of ignoring that pop and really just going for the fights first to open up the space for them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw No Name play on this map mode, but it was not against Phantom Liberty. So if they're facing a different team, they'll have to fight a bit more, a bit better if they want to take it. Phantom Liberty, they were coming on the winner's side, and now suddenly, 6 games later, they're back to the wall, and they need to win it all, Cactus.
That's right. Match point for No Name. Phantom Liberty. Opportunity to put this to a game 5 in the bracket reset. But Patches of Cacti. I love this. I love this, Ryan. We're seeing the weapon comp switch up from Phantom Liberty. We're going to see the 96 Gal Deco return, as well as the Splatter Shot. So that's a little bit of a switch up that we're going to see when maybe we're rocking back on with different types of aggression here. The Kraken maybe to open up space too, but with a quick cooler from Patches of Cacti, they're looking right away to push on forward.
Yeah, and right now both teams are dancing around, trying to win the fight. They're moving so fast around each other. These fights are going everywhere, but the Rainmaker is grabbed by Phantom Liberty. No, it's not gonna work. They get splatted. Mickey's the last squid standing in a Kraken and is forced out as Patches of Cacti are taking the Rainmaker and a drink to move on to the checkpoint.
Yep, a lot of space to be had. It's a lot of players around to go on forward. A nice flank here by the Stamper, using the zip to find any of the remaining players that are from behind. Numbers dropping for Phantom Liberty, and that's the checkpoint cleared as a splash, and we'll get this last player remaining as a trade-off.
Yeah, very nice trade right there. The Patches of Cacti know that any point they make right now could decide the whole tournament. 33 is a nice first push. We're only a minute and a half into the game, and Patches of Cacti are coming in so strong, and they're not out yet.
No, yeah, they're still holding on forward, as we're going to see Phantom Liberty try to reset this Rainmaker, taking off to the side. They're just kind of holding, trying to drop it on this low right, so they have another opportunity to just take some more space with it, use those burst shots from it to hold on closely. We are going to see a trade-off with that Stamper there, which is very, very nice for Phantom Liberty. Numbers advantage there. Here we go. It's just the Pen holding on by themselves, so where do they get the pick on the Rainmaker in time? Are they going to reset? No, they got to reset first.
Yeah, Phantom Liberty gets some room, but the rest of the team was able to respawn. Can Baki get to that checkpoint? They're eyeing that checkpoint right now. They dodge a few specials as, lots of players are falling down. 2 down, 3 down. It's just the Rainmaker. They break through the checkpoint right in the nick of time, Cactus.
That checkpoint is a very nice clear, but it means that their push, the next one they get, has to be a big one, as we're already 2.5 minutes into this match with Patches of Cacti having a lot of paint here in mid, a lot of space being taken. Potentially Liam on that side, they're looking for a pick against the other blasters on that ledge, but here comes Pow with the aggression. Here comes the Stamp, gets 1, gets 2, looking for a throw for 3, gets 4 wipeout. Oh my goodness!
The Victory Hammer has come back from that. 12 points remaining for Patches of Cacti. And we are still here. Okay, they get rid of them. But what a move. 2 minutes left for Phantom Liberty to get a miracle right now.
Oh, that they do. They're going to need a lot of that and more if they want a chance to bring this back. That was just some pure, incredible plays by Poe, who's been really the all-star this game so far. And now with 1.5 minutes left on the clock, Phantom Liberty has a little bit of leeway, a little bit of room to work with, but not much with how aggressive the rest of these players are being.
Yeah, here comes more splats. And another hammer is coming as well. Okay, that's not going to find the splats right there. But there's 1 minute left for Phantom Liberty to mount the push. They're still fighting for mid right now as all of the patches of Cacti are back in defensive positions. Two down. Cactus. Do we have a push?
We might have a push here. The pencil's down, which is a really, really good pick because that's the longest range. But unfortunately, the rest of the players of Phantom Liberty aren't quick enough to take advantage of that space. So now that pen is back, we do have the Stamper here ready with that Zipcaster. They're trying to put a stop to it, but players are going to be trading left and right. Can they get a pick there? They will. It's just the pen alive. Do they know where they are? Are they going to be careful enough for it? Here comes the Kraken, but down goes the S-Blast. Rainmaker trying to just launch over this ledge and stay alive from that pen. It's a pen v pen action right above. One pen wins and a tap shot by Lana Del Rey gets down the Rainmaker. No, the wipeout goes into effect. Phantom Liberty. 20 seconds left to go, but it might not be enough for them to come back.
Yeah, it looks like the patches of Cacti right now are ready to celebrate their victory. Going there. Oh, well. Is it not over? Where's the Rainmaker? I think it's over. Yeah. It's okay. That's game. It's over. All right. That's game, set, and tournament for our no-name team. Congratulations to them. They are our Battling Pool 318 champions.
What an incredible turnaround from them, being knocked down into losers originally by Phantom Liberty. Now it's just having a lot of those answers that they needed the first time, figuring out what they needed to do, and securing it very confidently. Phantom Liberty only able to take one game off of them. Congrats to both teams to make it this far. Both played very, very well. And again, no-name team securing the win for this paddling pool and ultimately showing how strong they truly are.
Yeah, great moves by that no-name team who, they only lost a single game in that grand finals. Poulet right there. With that hammer, absolutely dominating these fights. Incredible moves. Great victory by them, and I believe that's going to be time for us to say goodbye.
That's right, Pat. That's going to conclude this week's paddling. First, of course, thank you all for watching, and of course, thank you to you, Pat, and Jorian behind the spec cam. So, Pat, where can the people find you?
Well, it's written on your screen right now. Pat Gelton on Blue Sky is the best way to find me and get news from me. And Cactus, where can I find you?
You could find me, of course, like it says on the screen, at Glitch Cactus at Blue Sky. Pretty much all my socials will be Glitch Cactus with the addition of a 1 for Twitch, where I'm streaming every single day of the year. Today is day 127, so I'll be making sure to do that shortly. Or with, of course, Dapple Productions, The Cactus Patch, my podcast. And we recently had our episode with Jorian, actually, to discuss streaming Splatoon events.
Alright, that's going to be us for tonight. There will be more Dapple Productions this week. We have Squid Junction on Saturday evening with your NA, and the CCA versus NSC fighting, UK versus NA collegiate fight on Sunday. Not this Sunday, in a week. So, okay, that's a bit too early. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!